point where Allura and the doctor managed to find one of the Vistani who had seemed to find their way into town, even though knowing that everything you talked to the guards about, they are not welcome inside the walls. You found your way to a conversation with the Vistani, whereupon you seem to prove yourselves in some way. You're not quite sure exactly how that interaction went, but you at least told them of your encounters with the other Vistani outside of Barovia, and they very hastily departed, letting you know to come and speak to them. a man named Jarod outside of town, if you were ever interested in seeing these specific Vistani.
J-Rod.
Yeah, we'll check in with J-Rod.
And that was where we left off of the evening, with the promise of a meeting with Lady Fiona Wachter the following evening, coming over to the mansion for dinner. So, as light is closing in, the festival is starting to wind down. A lot of the booths are being brought in, a lot of the wares being closed up, and a series of people are beginning to head both for homes and to the various taverns around the village. Where is it you would like to go?
Are we all linking up? Like, have we met up, or...?
You're all still fairly separate at this point.
Oh, I thought we regrouped for the message.
Elif found Allura and the doctor, and you three were still separate.
Okay, I'm going through my pockets trying to figure out whose teeth is whose. I'm like, is this a molar from Hope? An incisor from Les?
Yeah.
Kind of, I don't know. Try and set these back in a bit.
Are you able to show me that right hook that you did at the end there? Because that was fucking fantastic.
I would be very happy to do so.
Fucking A.
Is Blinsky still floating around?
Blinsky at this point you don't actually see immediately. He doesn't seem to be in the general area.
Okay.
He had a bit of an area set up where a few of his wares were up for sale. He sold a few toys, but appears to have packed everything up and made his way somewhere.
Okay.
Laura and I wanted to go check out the rest of the wares and see what else was out there in all the shop tents as well.
I'll go with.
Okay, so the last of the shops are still open, a couple of people still bartering back and forth. It looks like fairly generic knickknacks for the most part. You see that there are a few nice rings on, a few nice bracelets, all definitely weather worn. A few pieces here and there do catch your eye, some pieces that are made of a little bit of gold, probably mixed with some other metals, but maybe plated with gold to make it appear a little bit nicer than it is. Assorted fresh fruit, fresh vegetable, all on display, all being provided for free. So is there anything specific you're looking for?
I wanted to look for stuff that was maybe from the Sword Coast, if there was anything from the outside.
Okay.
And then Alif is also interested in finding anything that's like archery and or defensive oriented, if there's anything good, but I imagine it's probably nothing too interesting.
Make an investigation check.
Okay.
Let's go around looking for certain things. First roll of the night.
Yeah.
What's going on?
How we're doing it? We're investigating to see if we see any local goods from...
7.
7. Anything of the Sword Coast, you're kind of looking around, you kind of get intrigued by a couple of things, and then realize, oh no, those aren't, and then you kind of look around and realize that 2 more shops have closed their windows, and you rapidly look around trying to find anything. You find that there are a couple of things, mostly just very basic quivers. A few places are selling some handcrafted homemade arrows. They would probably fly straight, but more so look like they're almost for decoration than anything.
Okay. Yeah.
Do we want to try and meet up with the rest of the gang?
Yeah, we should probably find everyone else.
Yeah, I think my wounds have healed. Thank you, Leaf. But
no problem.
Hey,
we can get back and find them now.
What's the burgomaster up to?
The burgomaster and his wife left the festival after most of the shops had begun to close. They got onto their horses. You 3 would have seen that they would have been escorted out with Isaac Strahd beside them, and then eventually making their way back to the burgomaster's mansion.
Okay.
Probably about 30 to 40 minutes prior.
Okay.
Leif, can you see Irina still about?
Yeah, I'll look around for Irina. I knew where they were sitting.
Yeah, they were sitting just off to the side of where the burgomaster and his wife were, so go ahead and make a perception check because they're not sitting there anymore.
Cool, I got a 11.
11. Looking around, Irina's not the hardest person to spot.
Yeah.
You do manage to see her, you don't see where Ismark is, but you see her kind of just fairly happily chatting with a couple of the locals. She's definitely the more chatty and happy of the type, but you can tell that a few people, based on the way that she's dressed and the finery that she's wearing, probably made a good assumption that she's staying at the burgomaster's mansion. So they're carrying on a conversation with her, you know, very much doing the pained smiles and just trying to make it sure that she stays at least somewhat happy in their presence.
Sounds good. Yeah. Oh, I hope she's over there. Just doing a bit of crowd work. I'm not, I don't know if you want to
I think
Oh, your tiny slices.
perhaps later we should try and
woodland
pass
creature.
on my letter.
Okay, so let me know what you need. I'm happy to help.
Thank you, Leaf. I'm really grateful for you to help me with this.
Anything for a friend, you know?
Thank you, friend.
Friend.
Can you hear out of your left ear? Because I feel like my left ear is a little bit, like, muted a bit.
She's got like a horrific cauliflower ear.
Well, in my fin ear, yes.
Anything else around the merchants?
Yeah.
The merchants at this point are pretty much packed up.
Okay.
The last couple of things are mostly just people trying to scarf down the last couple of bites of food.
Okay.
You do notice that there are definitely a few townsfolk who are looking a little bit worse for wear, really trying to stuff their faces and their pockets with the last of the food as things are being brought away. And most of the plates are leaving almost empty. A couple of scraps of pieces of food, like most people really are either eating their fill, or if they're not eating their fill, they're making sure that they have things to take home with them.
Interesting. So,
Some doggy bags.
yeah. So, like, they don't get fed properly.
Well, I think didn't
Like
we work
this
out
is-
how much that they were supposed to add to the coffers of the festival
Yeah, it was like
donations?
a half week's wage.
Yeah, and then this is happening like every 2 weeks, so it's a lot for them.
But it seems like they're getting.
It's a hell of a
They're getting fed, but only for
They're
a
getting
day.
fed.
They
or
don't seem
maybe 2
happy
days
about it.
max. And it doesn't sound like it's like meals; it's like refreshments.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it does seem like it's probably like a bit of a tax on the people.
Should
in
we
the
talk
town.
to them? Maybe just to see, like, what the deal is?
Yeah, I mean, we can check in with them and see if they really, especially some of those that are looking a little worse for wear, they may have something to say about the festival if anyone does. But perhaps you should do the talking.
I mean, Allura is the human.
That's true.
How far away are we at this point, considering we started trying to.
So you begin to make your way back at this point. Hope's still kind of helping Les walk a little bit. You probably don't need it, but it was a pretty rough
I
feeding,
think I do.
and you think you do.
I know I do. I'm trying not to show that I do.
It's the phantom limp from being shot in the ass that you don't actually have any nerve damage, but you got some internal stuff going on.
Both inside and out.
So yeah, you would have made your way back at this point. You would very easily be able to spot the rest of the party, as most of the people are packing up shop, and everybody does tend to keep to themselves. So seeing a group of 3 dressed the way they are definitely not the most common thing.
Hey.
Hello,
Hello.
everyone.
Productive festival, I see. Where's
Yes.
Les's teeth?
Oh,
That's
they're all here.
no, you don't really need to know that part. It's fine. It just fell out a little bit. This figure happens. The food's here is really hard.
Did you challenge someone else to a sparring match?
No.
Allura, how about we go see what these guys are all about?
Yeah, I think we should talk to some of the townsfolk. Definitely see how they really feel about the festivals and the bigger picture.
Oh, that's an intriguing thought.
I'm just curious. See if old BM is pulling a BM on Vallaki.
And
Just taking a
potentially, if this is something they feel that they're provided for, and
Yeah.
that they get fed on these days, we might not have as much support for what we're trying to do if this is something that is pleasing to different classes.
Well, something that we're thinking about doing. I wouldn't even say we're at the trying phase yet. We're exploring all of our options. And it would be good to know if option A was a
Yeah, if
really
we were to go to-
viable
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
So what, you want me to
Yes.
go ask someone?
No, we got this.
Okay.
We got this.
Yeah, I trust. I look forward to hearing back from you about.
Really pulled back on the trust thing. That's fine. No big deal. Whatever. It's fine. You said it already. Too late.
Oh, the
Well,
rest of you
let's go
meeting
talk.
us?
I don't think that was it.
Let's go. Let's go talk to one of like the worst for the wear people.
Okay.
I wanted to quickly see if I noticed where Kai, if I noticed where they.
Absolutely not.
No.
No, you were so out. You had no clue.
I see you kind of looking around frantically, and Les, they are meeting us for a drink later at the inn.
They are.
They are. They seem like a good person. I think you will.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. There's nothing weird will happen. It'll be fine.
You have me, Les.
They're
It
pretty
will
cool.
be okay.
Okay.
Alright. So, Doctor, looking around, there are definitely a few people who are fairly worse for wear.
Yeah.
The last couple of people shoveling little bits of food into their pockets, and you can see that they're trying to do it maybe not in direct view of the guards. And you're able to find that there's a man, probably in his late 20s or so.
Okay.
Fairly gruff, fairly dirty. Definitely looks like a general field worker of some kind. And he's just kind of hastily shoving some pieces in. You can see he's pulling out like a small pastry, and he's just tucking into that a little bit as the rain starts to descend and he begins to make his way out of the square.
Okay. Well met, friend. Happy festival day.
May the gods shine upon you.
Yes.
What can I do for you?
Well, we're new in town, and we were just wondering how this festival was for you.
Yeah, it is fantastic. It's something that the burgomaster feels that is very necessary, and all of us in the town, we appreciate his efforts. And
Can I insight check, see if he's lying?
Yeah, so,
Oh, that's a natural 20.
Yes.
um,
You read his mind.
What's for dinner tonight, bud?
There's subtext under.
Whispers!
It's
I love
macaroni.
whispers.
Follow us on Instagram if the three of you are watching us right now.
We have
Know
three
that we're
people
doing that.
watching?
I don't know.
Hey,
I'm just
guys.
guessing.
Oh,
Maybe it's none.
It's my dad.
it's fine.
Maybe it's
We've
more
got
than
3.
three.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a million.
Hi,
Who knows?
all 1 million of you.
Hi, Jesse's dad.
Hey, Dad.
Or if you're watching
Dad
on the
watch?
rewatch.
It's.
I got really excited.
I think it's just coming and running.
My mom sometimes watches.
Really?
Oh.
You
Sometimes
managed
Andy
quite a
watches.
haul there,
His
friend.
iPad's too old.
Sorry.
Sometimes Andy watches
Yeah.
it, but
It's,
he's
uh,
DMing tonight.
it's not very often that I get to enjoy this kind of level of food, so it definitely helps to bring a few.
Is this not like you don't get to eat very well often?
Well, I eat enough. I eat quite occasionally.
Of course.
No, it's also the quality of the food. It's not just a meat and bread diet, as it were.
Well. And the burgomaster, he treats you all rather well?
The burgomaster, he is someone that everyone looks up to. He has kept us safe for the last 30 somewhat years before, of course, when his father was still alive. And there are moments that everyone wonders.
Like what? What are some of these moments?
Well, I don't know if you heard for the beginning of the festival, but that man who came out and laughed, and all of us just immediately, we knew something was to be done. And
Who was that? Do you know him?
I don't. He's one of the guards of the city, but I tend to not interact with them too much. They tend to keep them themselves.
The guards.
The guards.
The guards keep to themselves.
Well, they are friends with other guards. If you've ever
Alert, please.
worked in a
Carry on.
position,
There's more if you want.
if you've ever worked in a job as a laborer or anything, you would know that the people who do one job tend to associate with the people who do that.
So, it seems that there was a punishment for that
Of course,
man. What?
harsh punishment, as is deserved.
For laughter.
For undermining the authority of the burgomaster, for taking this to be a laughing matter when in reality it was a very grave situation where the rain prevented the fire, and it reflects poorly on us.
It reflects poorly on the town.
On the
The-
town,
the
that's-
people?
The safety of the town can be put out by something as simple as rain.
So as simple as rain, but something as simple as fire can protect the town.
Yes, well, light is what keeps Vallaki safe.
Very well.
Can I insight check like his feeling of being
Rain.
protected?
You want to know if he actually feels protected?
Yeah.
Yeah, roll an insight check.
8.
8?
Nope. 7.
Wow.
7?
You know nothing.
It's tough to read.
Alright, okay,
so
cool.
he's-
You rascal.
Seems to be fairly forthcoming. Like, it doesn't seem to be really hiding anything, is answering most of your questions. That's about it.
What happened at the last festival? The Wolf Festival, right?
Yes, well, the Wolf Festival was, this one was about celebrating the sun. The last one was, of course, about celebrating protection from the creatures of the night. So, the Wolf Festival, several of the hunters who go out into the woods, I'm not sure if you've heard of, oh god, their names.
Yevgeny?
Yes, that is one, and Zolda.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they were quite prominent. Granted, a very, very nice offering, a direwolf skin and head. That I believe the head is actually now mounted in the Blue Water Inn, if I'm not mistaken. That was one of the finest pieces, and they were very heartily thanked by the burgomaster and his wife.
And we were told that these happen about every 2 weeks. These festivals, is that
Usually about once every full moon, something like that.
okay?
Let me ask, what? I mean, it's a little too late to look back, but what's the most acceptable offering to give?
Well,
To the chalice that he had. Yes.
to the chalice.
Yes.
In terms of payment.
Yes.
It is half a week's wage. Whatever that may be for your position. In my
See,
case,
spine
three
sound.
copper pieces.
Ah, very good.
And so it's happened once every full moon. Has it always happened that
Galaxy
frequently?
It's,
Smart.
in the last year or two, it seems to have been happening a little more often. It used to be, initially when I was a child, it was about every solstice, and then became once every few cycles, and now seems to be about every 2 weeks or so. I do mean.
Oh, yes, yes.
I do need to get going.
No, of
Of
course.
I need to get home.
Thank you for your patience.
Yes, of
Appreciate
course.
it.
I hope you enjoyed the festival.
Very
yes,
much.
yes,
Thank you.
it was lots of fun.
It was great.
So he's out of earshot? Oh, yeah, he's our friend.
I think
Don't
it was
Alright.
just the two of us.
Yeah,
Plus you're
you weren't
talking to...
talking quietly. He was in the group, so it's
Oh.
kind of from outside. You would just go, yeah, and you just kind of look over. Oh.
Plus you're talking to yourself again, buddy.
Don't mind him. He was fighting earlier and he got the snot punched out of him.
Yes, I need to leave, and just very quickly now turns tail and walks away.
Oh. Interesting. So to share,
You
Because they
get the
ate us.
impression you might have now realized who you are. That there's a tribunal that's happening. That the coffin maker's house was burned down. That a human and a half elf who is fairly talkative, you know, and a decent number of travelers pass through every once in a while. But seeing somebody of that persuasion and a description that was given of the guards to be on the lookout for these people, he finally kind of put two and two together.
oh boy.
So.
Okay, well.
Light is faded at this point, so it is fairly dark. All the shops are closed up, and the last few people are just kind of being ushered out of the town square by the guards, making sure that they're on their way in some way.
What's happening now? There's like the drinking contest of the Blue Water.
So a lot of people are going back to the Blue Water Inn for assorted drinks. There's the drinking competition, and then there's also an arm wrestling competition that's happening at the same time.
Redeem yourself.
Other than that, most people appear to be just returning to their homes for the evening.
Okay.
Continuing the celebrations as best they can. You do notice that the guards, in comparison to previously where they would be walking around holding lanterns at night, they now are holding lit torches on the end of very long poles.
I see.
And it seems to be lighting the streets a little bit more. Again, kind of in the theme of providing light to the darkened town.
What do you think, guys? Head back to the Blue Water?
Anyone
We
feeling
should head
thirsty?
back, yeah.
And we don't know if Kai went there.
Kai probably.
Okay, that's
Kai
probably
said
gonna...
they were.
I said
They,
that they were.
they were.
Yeah.
Oh, hey guys, by the way.
Okay.
Oh yeah, what's up?
We have a dinner date tomorrow night.
Oh.
Well, those of us who want to go. With our good friend, LF Dubs.
Yeah, she sent a messenger who waited till he saw me win the archery contest before he approached me.
Oh.
So
Congratulations on the archery contest.
We
Thank
won
you-
an
thank you
archery
very much.
contest.
It was very... How did your guys' thing go?
Oh, we don't need to talk about that. It was pretty good, you know. Things happened. People fought. It was fine.
Met a pretty cool fighter. Their name's Kai.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
They're pretty cool.
Yeah?
Yeah, they
Les, they do good?
They
Bet you did real good, huh?
yeah, let's
Oh, I showed them.
Let's
Oh,
got
I
his
bet.
bean rattled a little
Oh,
bit.
that explains it. Yeah, I think we head back to the Blue Water.
I have a note that Kai, off character, not a leaf currently, that he said they?
They.
It is they? Okay.
They.
Cobra Kai.
That they said they'd meet us there for a drinking contest.
Yeah, they wanted to, like, it wasn't necessarily for the contest, but just to have a drink, just talk.
Let's check in. Let's check in with our new friend Kai.
Yeah.
Maybe see if we can bring him along on our little sojourn. That seems like it'd be
I think
agreeable
it
to
might be
everybody. in
also
the party.
beneficial for us to chat with them about what would happen as punishment for that gentleman.
Oh, for
at
the
the
guy that
start
got
of-
hogtied.
Yeah.
Spring
I
Inn.
mean, I think that would potentially be another ally for us if we save someone from a cruel and
That's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah,
Save
cool.
this dude.
Yeah.
Perhaps,
if
but how
we-
much power would that person have to actually ally themselves with us?
well, if we are potentially going through with this coup, or we're looking at our options, having just sprinkles of people who are either indebted or trusting of us is a good idea. We've talked about having allies, and I think either saving someone from, imprisonment or torture or whatever is happening behind closed doors by the burgomaster.
Showing the guards that we're on their side.
Excellent
Yes,
idea.
What you said about that person who was sadly dragged as a guard, I wonder how the other guards felt about having to tie him up to the horse and see one of their
That was
comrades.
our fellow.
Did we
Yes.
notice how the other guards, because we would have been looking for Fiona Wachter at the time, did I potentially notice like the other guard's reaction to that guard being dragged around?
Which guards? The one who tied him up, or the ones that were on the rooftops, or the ones on the ground?
The ones on the ground.
On the ground.
Because those are the ones I can most
I'll
easily
let
see.
you make a disadvantage perception check retroactively because you would have been fairly, and you all were fairly focused on what was happening.
Yeah.
8.
8.
Sorry.
Yeah, you weren't really paying attention to it. The spectacle of what was happening was so abrasive and different.
Okay.
You noticed the guards bringing him over to tie him up looked fairly indifferent, like they were maybe stifling emotion, but you're not quite sure what that
Okay.
would be.
What happened up to that person? Where are they now?
You didn't see.
We didn't see.
They were led off, still chained,
Yeah.
hands and feet, and were led off and kind of frog marched out of the crowd and away from the festival, potentially towards the burgomaster's mansion somewhere, but you're not quite sure.
You know who would know? A guard. Like our new guard friend.
Guard friend Kai. Okay, I think we should head back to
Kai's a
the.
guard.
Yeah, Kai's a guard.
Is? Yeah.
Kai's a guard.
Yeah.
Kai's a guard.
We also could potentially make friends with the drinking contest champion.
That's true. The other guard.
Guinevere? Gwendolyn?
Gwendolyn.
Gwendolyn Fairstride.
Yeah.
I know things.
Strahd.
That'll be 2 guard friends.
Who is also
Hey, don't forget about Schmidt and Aaron.
Oh, yeah.
Mitty and Ari.
Our best guard friends.
Yeah.
Well, I
Human
mean,
to
they are the ones who know that we have a shield, and so
We should kill him. Sorry.
we'll keep them on our side.
I ignored that.
Alright, shall we go to the
Ignore
water in?
Alright.
Les, how do you want my support walking still, or how are you feeling?
You need support. Are you really like fucked up? Did you get
No,
really
it's fine. I
Okay.
think I could probably.
Okay.
I can
mean, I'm
walk
just
on
curious.
my
Hey,
own.
just a quick medicine check. Kind of looking over, seeing the way that the limp is happening.
Where's my medicine?
I'm like,
That's an 18.
It's an 18. You can see that outwardly he appears very hurt. And then takes a stride and kind of does that thing where someone who like realizes they should be faking an injury needs to start faking it. So takes a step, perfectly normal, lands on the foot, and then kind of does the hesitation and the wobbly knee kicks in, and then they just kind of drop a little. And then
Really selling
and then,
this one.
Yeah, like, we're talking football player faking an injury, rolling on the ground 17 times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, where it's,
That was a deep hole in the ground there. I don't know where that came from.
That's a straight message.
So weird. Someone should pave
Peter
these
Griffin's
Vallaki
the golden
roads
ticket.
better.
All right.
Cool.
Well, let's head back, and I'm gonna stride ahead confidently.
Yep, we're all striding confidently.
Here, come on, let's go. I'll just lead him along.
You guys go ahead. I'll get there.
I'll stay back with you, keep you company.
If you want to, I'll be. Oh God.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
Alright.
Okay.
So, make your way north out of
My
the town
house.
square. You're kind of falling in line with a couple of the people who seem to be making their way to the Blue Water Inn. Definitely quite a few faces you haven't seen before, but that's not unexpected. Most of the people in the town square were people you hadn't seen before. But you do eventually fall in line. There's a little bit of a line outside the Blue Water Inn. Your group being what you are, having paid for rooms, you are kind of muscling your way a little bit to get through the crowd just to get to the door. And you wave at Danica, and she just kind of waves everybody in and just kind of points upstairs for you to go to your rooms if you wanted to.
There's no free table, hey?
Currently no free tables. You do hear there's a fairly raucous uproar of music, of assorted people in the inn. And we're going to jump over to my other
Bar music.
Party
In
playlist.
upbeat
Oh,
tavern.
that's a banger.
Yeah.
Turn this one up. Who got
This is
that?
like D&D drum and bass happening right
So,
now.
there are a few musicians who have set up shop on the other side of the tavern. There, you can see that there are quite a few people who are having arm wrestling competitions. There's one very heavy-set woman sitting at a table by herself with two other chairs around it with just assorted mugs, some half full, some empty, of different ales and wines. You would guess at first glance probably Gwen, and just kind of waiting and just eyeing the room out a little bit. And a few of the other militia guards who are weapons down at this point, just in the last couple of pieces of scraps of armor, kind of purposely not catching her eye, just because they don't want to be enticed to have some kind of a drinking competition with her. But yeah,
That's Gwendolyn.
that's appears. You would gather based on the descriptions, probably Gwen.
And there was a drinking contest, and that's kind of what we can suss out. But there was also a
There was also an arm wrestling competition, which is a fairly steep price to enter into. Right now, you just see a few people at different tables, just one-on-one matches back and forth. But there does appear to be on the far side of the room, you would catch a glimpse of a small chalkboard, and on that you can see two names that are written in an 8-person bracket.
What are the two names?
You would see a name, Lars and
He's doing so good.
Sven.
John.
Lars and Sven.
John, he's back.
Hey, can I make a perception check to see if Kai's in the bar?
Sure, go for it.
19.
Heck.
19?
Yeah.
Yep, they're there.
Okay,
sitting on the far end, covered by a couple of people,
Okay.
but fairly imposing physique.
Yeah.
So you just kind of taking a look around and looking for one of the heads that sits above. You eventually do catch the back of their head. They're currently sitting away from the door,
Okay, cool.
facing the opposite direction, drink in hand,
Yeah.
laughing fairly heartily with another two of the guards sitting around the table.
Okay. Oh,
How's your
hey, I spotted Kai over there.
Yes, I would like to go speak with them. Would you like to come with?
That'd be pretty fun. Unless you want to come, anyone else?
I'm sorry, are you
so-
not going up to your rooms?
Oh, wait.
The bar is full at the moment. I understand, of course, you're spending the night here, but unfortunately...
I'll pop up to the room. I'll pop up to my room.
all right, of course.
There was a guard who had requested a drink with us, so I wanted to at least let them know we are here.
What is their name?
Kai.
Okay. Please. And Danica excuses herself to kind of make her way around, and you can see asking a couple of the guards who Kai is, and eventually making her way over to the other side, and kind of points and gestures over at you, and you see Kai turns around and just kind of...
I'll two-handed wave.
Hey.
I'm gonna do this.
And you can see Kai kind of looks over at Danica, and you see just a bit of a rummage here, and then a handshake with Danica, and then a bit of a gesture
Oh, special service.
specifically for you two.
Yeah, I'll just walk through and head up to the room.
Okay. So
Not
you two
me.
heading upstairs?
I don't have
Sorry, not
support
to,
anymore.
to the room, to the top of the stairs, and then I'll just to
Pop
see
a lean?
if top and lean.
Top and lean. Okay. Because the stairs do overlook the bottom floor.
Yeah, so I want to kind of be able to see things, but out of the way so Danica doesn't see or get mad at me.
Okay, sounds good. So you two have been waved over,
Okay,
and Kai just.
are we gonna pass Danica on the way there?
She's going to
Okay,
the
okay,
table
okay,
at
cool,
this
cool,
point.
cool.
You would be able to flag her
It's a
down if
Friday
you wanted
night,
to get
she's
a drink.
busy.
I can flag her down a bit.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, right.
It's good to see both of you. Welcome to the Blue Water Ball. Of course, you've been spending a fair bit of time here.
It's been pretty wild.
Yes, thank you for making space for us.
Of course, of course. You two leave. And she points at the other two guards that are sitting at the table, and they just kind of
Ooh.
grab their drinks and just kind of stand up and look really awkward and just kind of look around the room and see the only two empty chairs across from Gwen, and they just kind of shuffle up against the wall and just are like now standing, talking to each other, drinking, standing, leaning against the wall a little bit.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No.
No, please, they were finished.
Okay.
Please come sit down. Can I get you a drink? Perhaps with some of your own money, I suppose.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great, Kai. Thanks.
And you can hear the voice kind of back up, Danica! And
Yeah.
across the whole room.
Yeah.
And even Gwen at this point kind of turns and looks over at Kai, and you can see there's like a little bit of tension between the two.
I should bet.
Not bad.
But, and Danica just kind of on the other side, and she just gestures too, and Danica just kind of looks and...
Oh.
And so, eventually,
Thanks,
after
Kai.
about a minute or so, you see Danica weaving her way through the rest of the people, and eventually brings over 2 pitchers of wine.
Dang.
2 glasses.
Whining and
It's a
dining.
serving size.
Oh, appreciate it.
That's very generous of you.
Thank you, Kai.
Well, this afternoon was a little bit of the most fun that I've had in some time, so it was good to have a slight challenge again. Do
I'm
appreciate
glad
that.
I was able to help you have a fun time.
That was pretty exciting. I'll cheers to that, and I'll raise my glass and
Your pitcher?
my pitcher. Yeah, sorry, my pitcher.
2 good times.
Good times. Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
And just
I'm
drains the
upstairs.
wine.
Laura's upstairs.
wow.
Oh, well, Laura's bottom.
Yeah,
I'll
what is
take a
left?
small sip.
You should be
You're
drinking.
with Leaf.
Yeah.
So actually, I'm gonna like
Oh, where's
just sort of
it?
fade into the background and like stealth away and just sort of like start like.
That's
trying to
fine.
over Here.
I'll stay here.
Well, I'll let you know first. I'm gonna try
Cool.
and sneak
So
into the
Les, you're
background.
currently waiting outside to get in behind about 4 or 5 other people. Because those 2 have been allowed in, those 2 went up to their rooms, and you're trying to sneak into the bar?
Well, I think weren't we already inside and then
No.
she interrupted
Okay.
us?
You were stepping
We're, like, on the
inside.
outside?
Okay.
She Danica asked if who was going to go upstairs. These 2 said they were going to go, and then went over to get Kai.
I know
Kai said
someone.
those didn't make a gesture to either of you two.
Right. What?
Kai,
So
Kai got
you're-
balls
you have the ability to go up to your rooms,
Uh huh.
or you can wait outside for there to be room. In
Well, the
bar.
bar's pretty crowded, right?
The bar is
Yeah, I
standing room only, and most of that is even taken up. Like people
Okay.
are doing the drinks above the head, trying to shuffle behind people just to get to.
Yeah.
the
So
food.
I'm gonna like just do my best, like fade into the background and so start listening to conversations.
Okay, go ahead and make. I'll get you to make a stealth check because the bar is pretty well lit, and people
Okay.
are waiting at the door to get in.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'm gonna like walk in like I'm going upstairs and then like
yeah, exactly.
it's my ranger disappearing.
I love that noise.
That's gonna be a 23.
Wow.
3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Into
You
the
would-
woodwork.
Where'd the leaf go?
You would.
I just have my Aragorn reverse, like.
Strider.
Making your way to the bottom of the stairs, you would take kind of 1/2 step upstairs,
Mhm.
and then just kind of turn and face the room a little bit, and you'd be very actively paying attention to where Danica is,
Mhm.
and kind of just making sure that wherever you are, she isn't.
Mhm.
And you find room very tight. You're definitely getting bumped into by a lot of people.
That's fine.
But you would eventually find a spot fairly close to the musicians that appears to be left open because most of the people not really that interested in the music. They just kind of know that it's there. They see it more as they're taking up space than
Yeah.
this is actually something that we need.
Right.
But
Okay.
at the same time, no one is.
Hey Jordy, while I'm upstairs, and this is more of a table question.
Yep.
Would Allura be able to help me identify what the shield does at all? Like by
it's-
doing some checks on it.
It's possible. You bring the shield out.
Yeah. I want to
You can maybe like.
I'm gonna
tap-
gesture.
Yeah.
I'm gesture
Yeah.
Allura
Yeah,
to
it's
pull
not
her.
into the room.
Yeah.
Sure.
Just I want a better idea of what this shield's all about.
Okay. Does as in magical properties, or does as in what it means, like what its significance is in
Yeah,
the religious
because
realm.
it's written
Oh.
it has the
So it's written
celestial
in
text.
Celestial.
Yeah.
You know what the words say. I'm assuming
Yeah.
someone has that written down.
Yeah.
So you know what the words say. If you're looking for what magically it does, Allura wouldn't really be able to bring much to that. From a religious perspective, possibly, given her background.
Okay.
But that's about it.
Let's do the religion one then.
Okay.
And then later on, I would like to try and figure out some arcanic stuff about it.
Sure. I'll get you to make. This will be either of you making a religion check at an. Actually, no, it'll be both of you making a religion check.
Okay.
Okay.
Well.
11.
8.
8. Okay.
A real pious bunch of.
So it's a shield of Palor.
Yeah.
That much you know.
Good.
Cool. All right.
The
a shield.
celestial, even in the outside world, celestial is a very uncommon language. Seeing it on a shield in a land such as this is a very ancient item. This is not something that was made by a modern blacksmith and just stuck on a wall. This is very likely something that was found either outside of Barovia before it was removed from the prime material plane, or it was something that was maybe wielded by some kind of a champion who then devoted their life after being a champion to being a person of faith.
Okay.
The shield, looking at it, you do notice that there are definitely some battle scars. This is definitely something that has seen war, but they are very minor in comparison. Looking at it, it looks like whatever the impacts against the shield were, they've either maybe been buffed out or taken care of in some way, or whatever impacts they were, maybe just didn't do quite as much as a traditional weapon would against the standard shield. So it's a very, very fine piece.
Okay.
And you can tell is also you not being the right person, you kind of being the right person, just at least knowing how weapons work. It does definitively look like something that is made to be used in battle. The way that the sockets are taken out of it, it's designed to be a left-handed wielded shield because the left-hand side is completely flat. The right-hand side has got cutouts for where spears and swords would come in at different angles.
Like a trident, maybe.
This is
Or a sword.
Or a sword. Probably better.
a sword, a spear, a trident, a pike, polearm of
Sorry.
some kind.
No, that's fair. I'm just throwing some ideas around.
Yeah, no, it's just Jordy going a spear, a sword, and you go a trident, and it's like a sword.
A sword, yeah, of course.
So, yeah, so there is
Oh,
definitely some indication that this is an item
Cool.
that was maybe once used for battle.
Yeah. Okay. And can I pull an Arcana check to see if I can glean any of its magical properties?
Sure, I'll let you do that one.
Okay.
Do I?
Am I help? Oh, I can't help with
You
that.
can't help with that one.
So
Well, actually, I do have a +1.
Oh, do you?
It's more so trained in Arcana.
Okay.
The natural thing is just being able to identify things like glyphs. You don't know what any
No,
magic
I
is.
don't. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
am I?
16.
16? Definitely defensive.
Yep. That makes sense.
Looking at it, there is some kind of an enchantment on it. You knew that already, given the detect magic that
The
Leaf
leaf
ran.
pulled, yeah.
It is defensive magic, but you notice that there appears to be more than one set of runes. So one defensive and one that you can't quite identify, but definitely a secondary aspect.
Are they in a language I can read?
The runes are just runes.
They're
They're
runes,
magical. All magical runes are written the same.
Okay.
It's the comprehension of how they act
I see.
that typically you require something like an identify spell.
Okay, cool. If that's the case, I'm just gonna pop it back in the bag and thank Allura for her help.
Okay. We'll jump to Wes.
So where I am at, am I in like the atrium? Like there's like the hotel with there's rooms, and then there's the entrance to the bar.
So the entrance to the whole inn is outside. You're currently waiting in line to get into the bar, which is outside. You could go in to go to your room, which is crossing in front of the physical bar itself, to then go to the stairs to get up to your room.
Do I notice anyone in line that we've met before, like the trackers or
No?
No.
No.
Did we see like if people were going in through the door? Was I able to see anyone inside, like the trackers?
You
or
briefly stepped inside and were able to look around. Just make a, we'll say, retroactive perception check.
6.
You need to stop with that die.
It was rolling great this whole time, and as soon as the game started, it was shit.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not.
It's not a game die. So, anyway, looking inside, you kind of enraptured by the sheer number of people in here. They definitely stand out. You didn't notice them. You're not sure if they were there or if you just didn't see them.
Can I ask somebody in the lineup to see if they spot them, the trackers?
Well, you were at the door. You looked around and you didn't see them.
But like
So-
ask like, hey, have you seen these people inside?
Well, the people at the door don't know. They're not inside.
Is there like a bouncer?
Yeah.
Can I ask him?
Sure.
Assume-
But you believe they're not inside. You looked
Oh,
around
okay.
and you believe, like, you looked around and went, okay, they're not here. So,
All right. Well, I guess I'll go up to the room where they're at.
okay, so you would pass by in front and you'd be able to make your way upstairs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. You being downstairs, kind of hiding against the wall, is there anything specific you want to do?
Well, I'm wanting to like try to listen in on conversations, anything that has to do with Burgomaster, any of the interesting characters that we've met, like or Isaac, or really any dissent around town. Anyone saying anything negative about the Burgomaster, negative about the festivals,
Sure, so there
or about
are...
our tribunal coming up.
Yeah, for sure. There are a series of tables of assorted people. You notice that there are fairly drunken people in here as well. You do notice that the two boys, Carl and Nikolai,
Yeah.
the two Wachter sons,
Dude, I'll hang out
are
with
both
them
there
boys
and
later, bring them
are
upstairs.
drunk. They
Yeah.
are sloshing
My dudes.
drinks, like gesturing with full drinks and spilling them around the room.
Perfect.
They're being surrounded, you can see, by some fairly kind of on the verge of well-to-do, but definitely feeling like I need to do this so that I can then get to be a little better in town kind of thing. There are a series of tables of guards, some fairly drunk, some definitely on the more sober side, maybe just having a drink before they start an evening patrol. And then there are just some standard townsfolk, which appear to be a lot more timid than most of the other people, but are definitely in there, are enjoying their drinks. And you can see Danica tends to be favoring them a little bit more than anyone else.
More than the guards.
So yeah, so who would you like to listen in on?
Well, I imagine that no matter what I'm doing, I'll probably be able to hear Carl and Nikolai because they don't really seem to be the most subtle type. I think I'm most interested in listening to the townspeople, and
The townspeople?
especially if they're like a bit more timid and talking more quietly.
Sure. Okay. Go make a perception check for me.
I mean, ideally, I'd like to get all of them, but we'll see.
This is just to begin.
16.
16. Okay. Making your way over, you see that there's a table of kind of middle-aged men, maybe late 40s or so, all human, of course. And they're just kind of chatting about the festival and how it was not quite what they were expecting. The surprise at the beginning was not something that they particularly enjoyed, but it was part of, unfortunately, kind of how things go. And they're all kind of used to it at that point.
Right.
Outside of that, there doesn't appear to be any real dissent. It's more so just kind of general upset
Right.
at least within that group, at the current situation of what's happening and how often and how much they're having to pay for
Right.
these festivals. That kind of a thing.
Can I insight check to kind of see one if their true feelings are maybe a little bit more than they're letting on because they are in a tavern surrounded by guards, and or if maybe they're using some sort of like coded language to kind of
You would need to more so engage them in conversation to be able to do that.
Right. I don't
Just
think
being
I'm
able to watch and like look at a conversation, it's kind of tough to get that because you're so focused on over the general noise, trying to just pick out the words, that trying to find the meaning behind them is a bit difficult.
NK Uye Peaks Enter.
Yeah.
Uye, uye, antwe, ute. overthrow ye.
Okay. Okay, I won't engage them because I feel like they're probably. I'm definitely looking outsider. I don't think they're gonna.
Yeah,
open up
it's like
to me.
you've gone fairly unnoticed to this point, and you've kind of flitted around the room a little bit, listening to a couple of conversations, been splashed by a little bit of a drink here and there. And you picked up some that there's definitely a little bit of unrest, but definitely not loud enough to be heard by anyone that would then report it.
Gotcha. Okay, so maybe I'll listen on the guards next.
Okay. We'll come back to that one.
Yep.
So, you two back
Hang
at
out
the
with
table with
Kai?
Kai. Drinks have been brought over, of course, poured, and
Yeah.
Kai, kind of seeing you pour the pitchers a little bit, is ordered another for himself.
Cool.
So,
Kai, as you can probably tell, we're not from here. Are you from Vallaki?
I was born and raised.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes, my father was a guardsman and wanted me to be the same when I grew up. Not sure exactly the situation that came up would be one that he was very happy with, but it is what it is.
Do you enjoy this role? I understand that that might not be an answer you're comfortable making.
It is a difficult answer. I know that my life is one that a lot of people would choose to have. Personally, I am quite content with the way that things are. Are there things that I would change? Of course, but that is true of most people in their lives. So, it is something that I go through day to day, enjoying myself, making some good moments when I have them, and drinking for the ones that I don't like.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, no, that's a pretty, that's a pretty well thought out answer. I'm not gonna insight check.
Everyone, inside chicken. Everyone
Fucking insane.
It's the reason why Insight exists.
Yeah.
Nobody's been doing it before. So
Alright,
I'm glad to see a
fine,
couple
yeah,
people
let's
do
get it.
this time.
I 100%. They're telling the truth.
Yep.
Have you been outside of Vallaki much, or just kind of stay within the town?
Given my age, I have spent some time outside of the walls, typically on patrols, but not as much as some.
How old are you? I couldn't quite.
That is a very rude question to ask.
I'm very sorry.
I'm 37.
Okay.
Beginning to reach my middle age, but still a little more fit than most of my younger colleagues.
Is just speaking, so you're happy being a guard? Is there anything, have you ever wanted to kind of, see a little bit more of Barovia or anything?
I'm content with my life being what it is. I appreciate the safety that the walls provide. I appreciate the fact that most of the people in this town, if I have a disagreement with, I will win.
That's true.
So,
I can understand that. This is another perhaps difficult question, and I'm going to apologize in case it's rude again. Had you heard tales of us and our party before our matches?
before the festival? Of course. All of the guards had heard what you allegedly did to the coffin maker's house, of the creatures that allegedly were inside, and of the tribunal that will be happening, I would imagine, within the next few days.
Now that you've spent time with us, has your thoughts changed, or were you always just thinking?
Well, you've proven that the damage that was done to his house you could do. So, I don't know if that is in your favor or otherwise. but
Well,
it at least proved that you are people who, if you are tasked with doing something, you can do it.
But you see that at least we operate with honor where possible.
We had the boxing match. I do understand, of course, honor is a very important thing. There's only so much that one can glean from a single match.
that's understandable. I guess we're.
But I do appreciate that you are a little more capable and a little more fun than most of the people who live in this village. So I do appreciate that. Hence, the drinks.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate that, Kai. If you, I don't know, have you ever run into that Isaac guy? He seems like a bit of a, I don't know. He's giving us
Yes.
kind of weird looks.
Isaac is a very interesting man.
Inside
Yeah, I'm
joke.
Well, yeah.
What is it you're looking for?
Are they being when they say interesting? Do they mean that in a positive or negative manner?
Okay. Could make an insight check.
It's a natural 20. With,
Yeah!
Second one. Nice.
26.
26.
Yeah.
You can notice a little bit of the dry, forced smile
Yeah.
kind of curl the edge of their lip. Of the one of never to speak ill of a superior officer. That kind of.
Fair enough. That makes sense.
Did you know the god who was punished at the beginning of the festival?
Yes, Lars. He, good man, a young man, a dumb man. He was recruited into the guard because of his capabilities with a pitchfork, and everyone decided that he would probably be good in militia. Proved himself a few times, but was prone to outbursts such as this. Definitely not the most level-headed man. What happened to him may have appeared to be quite brutal to, of course, those of you who do not live here. This was a great offense. The festival represents the assertion of the burgomaster being in power. Any challenge to that by someone, especially one of his militia, is something that needs to be swiftly dealt with. The demonstration that was made reaffirms that the burgomaster is the person who will keep the town safe, that he is the person who will continue to provide for the people inside the walls, as he has done for decades. So I do appreciate, of course, that you, I assume, are quite concerned with him, but rest assured, his crime has been punished. He may not return to work as a member of the militia, but he will continue a life inside Vallaki.
Well, we appreciate your honesty. I hope you can bear with us. We are a little new here.
And perhaps not the best accustomed to your ways.
Given what I had heard about your party before, I would imagine that was probably the case.
We're doing our best to do the right thing, you know.
We
It
just
is
want
amazing what some people see to be the right thing, because perception is everything.
That
I don't trust Kai no more.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
I'm getting ready for
Can
my.
I mean, I'm gonna insight check that.
About what?
Exactly. It seems like
Every
it's
time.
fucking suspicious.
Yeah,
What do you want to do?
No,
Is it a threat?
Sorry?
Is it a threat?
yeah, is that
or
a threat?
Is that a threat?
Is
I
that
actually
a
thought it was an invitation, maybe, to
Oh.
like be more real, maybe.
Oh.
Be real, guys.
Well, I mean, like,
I think it was they're saying that like we see things one way,
Yeah.
but they're not what
Yeah.
we're seeing it as. And
Yeah.
for example,
Oh,
it's burning
okay.
down-
burgomaster, maybe.
Is there
Or
any
the
double talk
burning
behind
down
that? Like, is
thing.
there like an underlying tone to that?
Okay, make an insight check.
Less good. No, actually, fuck, that's way worse. 12.
12?
Yeah.
Tough to read.
Yeah, fair enough. Damn it, I thought that was enough.
Would
They've been cryptic in most conversations they've had with you so far. Definitely someone who
Bless
Bless
you.
you.
thank you,
Seemed tight.
has the position they have
Yeah.
for a reason.
Yeah.
Being one of the strongest non-male members of the guard.
Yeah.
There's a reason that they've survived this long within that militia. Of people that you now especially can see are not the least abrasive of people.
if you were to join us for a drink in our room, would the perception change?
Into my room.
I don't know. I'm just trying to.
Lead
I'm not
the
sure
rat
what kind
with
of an
cheese.
invitation this is, but I appreciate it. But for now, I will stay down here.
That's okay. We'll be up there for, you know, a few more days at least. So if you ever want to swing by for a drink,
Perhaps after the burgomaster has decided your fate.
that's understandable.
Episode 15. Hope and Leaf have a freedom.
It would. I would like to continue getting to know you better. If you would perhaps like to know more about us as well.
Got some cool
The world
maps.
outside of these lands has always interested me in some way. It would be nice to have an opinion and a view on this that I do not have. But, as I mentioned, perception is everything. You must ensure that whatever it is that you present is something that would deem you worth staying inside these walls. And that is all I will say on this.
Appreciate that.
Enjoy your drinks. I have a man to go beat. And you can see that they stand up and kind of place their palms on the table and just kind of turn around and... Frederick! Now. And a fairly large, heavy-set man comes over, and you can see the two of them, and a couple of people clear some space at a central table, and you can see them sit down and kind of eye each other up, and then just one arm on the table, and then one person ends up coming over and holding the two arms there, and you can see them pull out small sacks of gold. You actually see the one that's
Lost.
thank you, offered earlier, the 30 gold sack, the matching piece, has been thrown onto the table. And then a matching sack.
It's got like his name engraved.
Like Stitch.
Yeah, Stitch did.
Yeah. And another sack of gold that kind of spills out a little bit onto the table appears to have been thrown. So appears to be a fairly heavy match.
Mm-hmm.
And you notice that it goes back and forth a little bit between Kai and Frederick. And eventually...
Can we cheer on Kai?
Sure, go for it.
Go Kai.
Kai! We think. Yes, go you!
We think yes, go you.
We think yes, go you. And it's kind of a slight distraction. You see
This
this
is the
kind of
first
slip a
time.
little bit, and then just kind of focus and pull back to the middle. And then after a good 20 seconds, 25 seconds or so, eventually
Cobra Kai.
and just kind of looks over a little bit, and you notice that Kai's expression changes ever so slightly, and
Does
you can
Kai
see
go over the top?
that they actually bite their lip.
Oh, yo.
To the
Yo,
point that
yo,
a little
yo.
bit of blood ends up coming out, and then just forces the arm down, slamming down on the
Hey,
table.
Kai, anytime you come on adventure with us.
So,
That's fucking sick.
with that, the match
Yeah.
ends. You can see that
To rage.
the man who was sitting across is definitely a little perturbed at the sight of somebody actively choosing to bite their own lip, and to the point that blood would be pouring down their face. Kind of steps up from the table and just kind of, bitch, and then ends up walking away as Kai collects the two sacks. And at this point, two more names have been filled in, one being Frederick and the other being Kai, onto the arm wrestling board.
Can I wave Danica over?
Sure.
Just try and get her attention.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
She comes over and just kind of, yes, what can I do for you?
Hey Danica, two things. One, if I'd be able to buy Kai their next drink, that'd be really appreciated. And I'll just
Of
toss
course,
them.
they've been drinking pitchers all night, so
Yeah.
this will be 2 gold
Yeah,
pieces.
I'll toss them 2 gold.
Okay.
And second thing, I can't help but note it. I mean, I don't know if this is the time or place to discuss this. I'm a bit of a ornithology fan. I'm an ornithologist. Do you keep birds by any chance?
They keep birds.
Yeah, like, I don't know, ravens or something.
No, I do not keep ravens. But, I'm not sure.
That's okay. I just figured I'd check. There just seems to be a few hanging out on your roof. So I didn't know if you, like, you were there
Yes,
like your pets or something.
they tend to come every once in a while. Nothing to be afraid of.
Yeah, I'm gonna, like, just out of principle, I'm gonna insight check this.
Go for it.
It's 20.
What?
Oh!
They have a
Yeah.
yeah. They have a +6 on insight.
Yes.
high passive perception too, I think.
I love that as Leaf was like, oh, this might be the wrong time, while the room was weeded out, and people who work in the service industry were all like, oh my god! Even in D&D, this is stressing me out.
Yeah. It's like, are you
Hi,
about
I'd
to
like-
order
yeah.
a burger and completely
Yeah.
change every single
I'd
ingredient
like
in
to
it?
have a really long meandering conversation about my day while you have 3 other
Yes.
tables fill up.
I would
Really
like to
great.
have your advice on my problems in my life.
Yeah.
And also this
Yeah.
really, really ridiculous
Oh,
order.
Yeah.
I unfortunately do not
Well,
know
fair enough.
what you are talking about, but I of course will get this drink. And,
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Thanks,
enjoy
Danica.
the rest
Sorry.
of your evening.
Nat 20.
Can I... Sorry.
I just dropped a piece of popcorn.
Oh, right.
And said nat 20.
Ah,
That 20 drop check?
I don't know. It was like in my thing, so.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I was, whilst Leaf is motioned to Danica and started talking to them, can I kind of move closer to Kai and be like, would you like me to help you with your lip?
Don't worry. It will be fine. I do appreciate the concern, though. And you can see
I
that
can help
they
with
just kind of lick their
healing.
lip a little bit and just kind of run their finger across it. And it's definitely a cut. And it is definitely bleeding a little bit still. But you can see that they're just kind of ignoring it.
uh-oh.
It's okay. Just
Battle
one of my
music.
thought screens right now.
I would like you all to roll initiative.
Yeah, those ravens,
Roll initiative against Kai's lip. No.
the ravens are coming down.
Can we go back to the hotel room?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna walk up to these two, back upstairs. Excuse me, doctor.
Yes.
I might be in need of your services. I may have hurt my leg
Oh.
somehow.
How would that have happened?
It's not important.
Well, I need
Would
to
you be
know
able
if
to
I can-
help me set it in? Okay. We were in a boxing match
Okay.
earlier.
Okay. And you won. That's what you said.
I creamed the first round
Mhm.
for sure.
Mhm.
And then somebody may have ever so slightly
Mhm.
beaten me
Okay.
in the last round.
And your leg's busted
yes.
from that person beating you ever so slightly.
Yes.
Okay.
Would you be able to help me pop it back in? I've not been able to put any weight on it since the match.
I mean, I can give it a try.
Okay. Go and make a medicine check.
Okay.
Femur is just
Stuck a bone. It's just like
There's something wrong here. Just pull up the skirt.
That's a 16.
16. Pointing out the affected area on the leg, you kind of
No, you're good.
pressuring a little bit,
Just do this.
and you're kind of putting a little bit of pressure that you know would probably instigate a bit of a reaction, and the reaction is quite delayed. Like, it's definitely not there, but he's trying to make it seem like it is.
Mm-hmm.
And you eventually just kind of like realize that there's actually nothing wrong with the legs at all.
Yeah, shit.
You cursory do a little bit of like, you know, Jackie Chan and Karate Kid faux.
Pat Morita, but yes.
Yeah.
I guess Jackie Chan in the new one.
In the new one, yeah.
Kung
Well,
Fu
that's what I mean. Like
Yeah.
the crappy version of what is actually done.
Yeah.
By Pat Morita, but yeah, you would do that on the leg and like kind of feel like that's maybe it, but then kind of looking over the body, you actually notice that there is some bruising around the eyes, and then actually a quite hefty lump on the side of the temple. And whatever damage looks like it was done was definitively not done to the legs. More so was probably done to the pride.
Well. So, you got some nasty boo-boos there, Wes. Doctor's prescription. Go lie down. Go take a load off. Or go drink your pains away.
Well, I can't even drink my pains away because there's a lineup outside the goddamn bar and I can't get in.
You're in the bar now.
Thought we were in the hotel room.
So you walk through the bar to get up the stairs to go to the rooms.
Right.
So you're inside now.
You're in the rooms. You're allowed to have drinks brought to your rooms. You can't join the bar downstairs because there's physically
Yeah,
not
room
enough
service.
room for
Right.
Bottle service.
Dine in. Let's get it. Is there anything else?
I've got a confession to make.
Yes.
And
Ooh.
that was the first time I've ever been beaten.
Oh, what? No.
I know,
No.
it's hard to believe.
You were beaten in the head a bunch with fists, perhaps?
Yes.
Who would have guessed? Certainly not I. The man who saved you from a trap.
Okay, get it.
No big deal.
But I've never... So I may have been fibbing earlier as well when I may or may not officially be a Triton warrior.
Is that so? Tell me
Juicy
all of this
backstory.
rich
Yeah.
backstory.
I'm like,
Pens at the ready.
Hey, we're here. We here.
The day...
Allura, you're in the room with us, right?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
leaning at
Of course.
the door. But I'm like in the doorway with my eyes down and listening to you guys, like watching
Cool
to see if
shit.
anything goes down.
So you weren't ever a Triton warrior.
Well, not technically. The day before we were all brought here, the trials to get in a part of the guard army for the Triton Kingdom was happening.
Yo, this is the backstory music. Kevin, keep it going.
The time has come, Les.
Oh my
You gotta be
god.
honest with
No.
Please put on the shonen music.
But before I could enter the trials, one of the guards in my quarters that I was staying in found a dead body. And they don't know. They think I killed the person, but I've never ever seen this person in my entire life.
you. Well, did you kill them?
No.
Oh.
I never have seen this Triton in my entire life, but they're
Can I
the
insight
my
check?
quarters.
Yeah, I'd like to also
You're
insight
certainly
check.
allowed to
I'm
do
gonna
that.
insight check him from downstairs now. There's
So,
some
I got a
backstory.
thought.
You
That's
can roll
suspicious.
and in your mind decide if it's
Suspicious.
deception or persuasion.
Well, I know it's
So they have to beat my.
So if they meet or beat, they get an aspect of the
real
truth,
talk.
and you go from there.
Either or.
So you decide if you're trying to deceive or if you're trying to.
I was
be
lying.
honest. You're lying. What do you roll?
7.
Okay.
Huh?
You rolled a 5.
I rolled a fuck.
A fuck.
Oh, I
So-
rolled 14.
14. You would get an inkling of the way that the story is told, that there would typically be more gravitas put into this. Les not being the most charismatic person, it's a little bit tough to tell definitively if it's a lie or the truth, but given everything that of this persona that has been portrayed so far, it doesn't quite seem to line up. You being as far away as you are, and already not really having the highest opinion of Les in comparison to some, don't really take it to be fact, but you could imagine that there is a world this could be true.
Now, old friend, sometimes knives just fall between ribs. I get it. That's a thing that happens. But that doesn't mean you're not a warrior.
After this incident happened, I fled
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't know what to do.
It's the thing an innocent person does. I understand
Yes.
very well.
There was no other way. They would have assumed that I had did it.
No, of course, and you need to get out ahead of it. I understand.
But I've never had that moment in the sun. Ironic because I'm in the sea. But
Well,
still,
yes.
that's what people say.
Very well. As they say.
And when I saw that boxing match,
Mhm.
because the day that I ran away was the day that I came up onto the shore and just the nearest encampment that was near the outpost where we were at. I then went to a tavern and a bar and woke up in this realm. But when I saw that fight, and having been here, it's been nothing but rage and disappointment, and I feel like I don't belong and no one here wants me here and I'm not with my people and I just want to get back. And I saw that moment at the boxing match as a way for me to prove myself to this group, to everybody here. And I
Les,
was
I'm going to
just-
stop you right there. You've already proved yourself to us. You fought a Christmas tree. You fought a trash monster. You fought a bunch of monsters. And only once did we have to bring you back from being dead. But the good news is, I've got great bedside manner.
Yeah.
The good news is, you're here, you're one of us, and we're gonna get the hell out of here.
I just feel like I need to, I don't know, I need to prove myself more. Like, what can I do? I don't know. I just feel like I'm just not enough right now.
What you can do
something
is
about
keep
it.
fighting. Don't believe in yourself, Les. Believe in the us that believe in you.
I guess I have a lot more to learn.
That's right, Les, you do.
Alright, that's it.
Wow.
Gurren Lagann quote. Dropped it.
That was good.
Thank you.
Control the person.
Hopping back downstairs. You two at this point can see that there are 4 names filled in on the arm wrestling tournament. You can see that Gwen has been sitting at the table by herself for quite some time. We'll hop over to you. You want to listen to the guards next? Okay, go make a perception check.
Jeez.
22.
22. Okay. For the guards, doing your best to make your way around and listen without being noticeable. Put up and kind of blending into the crowd a little bit as best you can. The general air from the guards is it's kind of a weird description, but it's about the most accurate one. Have you seen Attack on Titan?
No.
Okay. The guards from season 1 before the Titans attack, where they just kind of feel not so much better than the rest of the people in Vallaki, but than the traditional townsfolk. They feel like they're kind of owed these festivals. That kind of comparing this to the other ones and how, and more so just swapping stories on the people that they had to intervene with in different ways, and kind of being a little bit happy with how things turned out. And there's definitely an air of superiority with some. Some of them definitely take their job fairly seriously. You can see that they were people who probably didn't come from the healthiest of upbringings or the wealthiest of upbringings, and even though they're just a militia, essentially just enlisted by the burgomaster, they still take pride in their duties. And you do hear them discussing your group. Discussing the tribunal that's going to be happening. Probably 3 days is the expectation.
Jesus Christ.
So in 5 months.
Next year.
I'm really looking forward to
Is likely going to be
Christmas
taking place
episode.
in about 3 days.
So that will be day 10, 9, 10, 11. So day 11.
Montage to leave. Just
And
lawyering now.
a lot of them are just kind of believing that that you should be made an example of, because Henrik was somebody who had been a member of the village for years. He was somebody that everyone knew. That all of these crazy stories of vampire spawn being inside the city are nothing more than that. There is no truth to them, no credence to them. And that's general understanding of what you get from the assorted guards around the room.
Is there anyone who seems sympathetic to us?
The one person who kind of tends to be a little bit more, maybe not sympathetic, but not as
Or who's
willing to
reserving
accept.
judgment.
Not
Yeah.
as willing to accept one version of the truth is Kai.
Oh.
So definitely not standing up for you, but more so just kind of taking what is heard and offering nothing to add.
Kai keeps their cards very close to their chest. Okay. Do I notice if they're looking over at Hope and Leaf at all while they're...
Looking at them a little bit more, especially them being the one person you really recognize outside of the two Wachter boys. Not particularly.
guys.
Okay.
The conversation that happened originally, you kind of checked in a little bit, and they were fairly deep in conversation. And then when Kai got up and left and had that arm wrestling match, after that, it's been more getting a little bit on the drunk side with a few of the other guards and just kind of enjoying a general air of relaxation of finally having a night off, especially after the festival, and just kind of enjoying the evening for what it is.
Okay.
So,
Do we want to?
I was just gonna, while it's us two at the table, because it is just us two now, aren't we? At
yeah,
it?
you two are just by yourself.
Yeah.
The chair that Kai had has been pulled away by somebody else.
Yeah.
So it's just the two of you sitting down at the table.
Yeah.
Leaf, I've just thought of something.
Yeah.
I don't think we should drink much more.
I agree.
I've just realized, it seems like all of the guards are getting inebriated. They're getting drunk. If something was going to happen tonight, then perhaps this would be when something happened. I think we should be unawares just in case anything were to happen.
That makes sense. I'd agree. I'll kind of cut off at that point.
I wanted to be like,
Oh, wait. Where are we at?
can I see if Irina's in the bar at all?
Oh.
Sure.
Or is Mark?
Yeah, make a perception check.
Can I assist them in
Sure.
looking? Okay.
At advantage.
Eyes on the prize, Hope.
I
So
thought we
is
moved-
it insight?
I thought we moved on to Kai.
Perception.
Perception. 17.
I think
17?
that Hope is playing the field.
Not
We're a
that you
big
can
happy
see.
family.
Okay.
It's a numbers game.
Irina and Ismark
Polycule.
have been guests of the burgomaster.
Yeah, so
everything
it's-
you know, you were kind of hoping that they would be here to have a drink, but they don't appear to have made their way in at this point.
Yes, I can't see Irina or Ismark, but perhaps we'll get the chance to talk to them another time.
Yeah. Do we think the night's a bust? Do you want to just go to sleep or?
I think perhaps... I don't know if we should be resting fully tonight.
We can alternate if you want.
Yeah, I think it'll definitely be worth speaking with everyone else.
Okay.
And now cuts to Geordie.
Oh, well, I was gonna say if we're gonna go up before, I wanna.
I don't think we're actually moving. I
We're not
just wanted
moving?
it
Okay,
to cut to
yeah,
Geordie
we can
to
cut to
whatever
yours, yeah.
you were about to say.
That's okay.
Okay. At this point, the night has been carrying on fairly well. Most of the guards inside the inn are quite drunk. The line outside has dissipated. The last few people being allowed inside, as a few of the guards have definitely been kicked out on their ass to the point that they can barely stand properly.
Nice.
You do notice looking around as well. You three have popped downstairs at this point, and you would be able to find that there is now enough room for you to easily make your way into the bar if you would like to join as well. Unless you do notice that Zoldar and Yevgeny are not there. So looking around at all the tables, speaking to a couple of people who had been inside, they didn't appear to have made an appearance at all that night. General assumption from what you get is they're kind of loners, being in a group of this many people with music.
They're so cool.
Not exactly this.
Yeah. Okay.
Hanging out, smoking by the
So you do have the bar. The
Rebels
six
to
of you are
cause.
downstairs. Gwen is still sitting at the table, looking very upset at the fact that no one has sat down and challenged her to a drinking contest, and is kind of polishing off the last of a flagon of ale, and is starting to get up from the table as the floorboards creak a little bit as she stands up and begins to make her way towards the door. The arm wrestling tournament appears to have fallen flat as well. Not enough people entering into that.
Yeah.
The guards expected maybe more, but with how inebriated the rest of the group was, the names are still there, and there's now drawings of assorted dicks on
Nice.
the chalkboard.
Yeah.
People
Dick
just kind of being a little bit done with the evening as things are starting to close in on the midnight hour.
Can the two gentlemen that I noticed, are they still there?
There.
Okay.
Yeah, cloaks drawn.
Yeah.
And just in hush conversation.
Sorry to butt in. I was just going to say, because didn't one of you mention how you wanted to speak to Gwen? Did
I
someone
didn't,
mention that?
Might have
Alright.
just gotten.
Okay.
I got them confused.
I don't have any money to get into the drinking contest.
I'll
It's
give you some
150
money.
gold pieces to
Oh,
enter.
holy
Oh,
shit! Never
fuck,
mind.
yeah.
Whoa.
The pot is 1,000.
Wow.
Wow.
She's been champion for 6 months now.
Does anyone have really good constitution?
Not myself.
Well,
I
can anyone drink a lot and is very hardy against poisons?
Yeah.
Do it.
Oh.
Plus
I
four
mean,
saving throws.
how much do we have in group loot?
Yeah, we have for sure. We have 280 gold.
Because you alone have 200 gold.
Oh yeah, I have.
Anybody
Three
seen that
constitution
human
is a
movie
plus
called
2.
37.
It's plus 4 in the saving throw though,
Is that?
which is like it's just a drunk affecting.
Would it be a saving throw?
We're not
You
sure.
don't know.
Yeah, could be, could not be.
You know from experience that typically resisting poisons is to do with your constitution.
No.
It's up to you to decide if alcohol is a poison.
Sure is.
Correct answer, kids, for anyone watching.
Yeah.
Anybody seen that human movie Rocky?
Yeah.
What's a
No, I
movie?
haven't.
Yeah.
No.
I don't
What's a
know. Wizard
movie?
showed it to me once. It was very weird.
Oh, very good.
Alright.
I have run up the steps of the Philadelphia
Oh,
Art
that's fine.
Museum.
really?
I've not seen the film, but I've done
What?
it.
Wait,
Oh,
is this in
I
character right
run
now?
up.
This was hope. I was like, yeah.
Or did the Philly stop?
Yeah.
Okay. If there,
So,
if I could,
Wait, do we want to? Does we want us to challenge her?
I kinda
I
do.
vote.
yeah, sure.
I'm in on that idea.
It's your chance to win back your honor.
Or just get
Guy
super
there?
hammered.
sorry?
Is Kai there?
Kai at this point has gotten fairly inebriated and they're kind of being carried out of the bar by two other
Classic
people.
Kai.
So it's still there, but definitely being helped to their feet and just kind of like, you can tell punching assorted people to try and get them out of the way.
That's
Like,
pretty cool.
probably not the happiest of drunks. But
All right. So I come down and we meet up with everybody. We see the champion still there with drinks around.
starting to get up and begin to make her way towards the door, looking pretty
Okay.
upset.
Here we
I
go.
want to address the party like, my friends, I let you down earlier, but I've come to the conclusion that you are my true friends, and I don't need to do this to prove to anybody that I am worth something, but I'd like to prove something to myself,
That time was
that I am worth something.
Hey Les, I know you're believe in the group and everything, and I'd just like to help you out a bit if you need anything. Just I can I got a little trick that makes the alcohol not sting so bad, if that makes sense.
If I'm going to do this, I want to do this 100% on my own.
Let's not be hasty.
Without anyone's help.
Just figured I'd float that idea, but no worries, bud.
You have my support if you accept Leaf's help.
Speaking to you from your tribe, you should probably let the vote roll count.
All right.
It's 1,000 gold pieces.
Some more gold.
That it is.
If
it
you
is-
do something
Come
without
by a
me
lot of honor.
noticing, then I won't bat an eye.
You're
I
gonna
guess.
turn around and close your eyes.
I guess I'm gonna make a sleight of hand and
yeah.
blessing.
Sleight of hand versus your perception. We'll say perception because you're actively looking at this point. It's not passive.
Yeah, it's a 17 on my end.
Perception is only +2.
4.
4.
6.
No clue. Just like looking at the table, you're like,
Hey Les.
I got this. And you feel the hand on your shoulder. You're like, thanks, Leaf. I know I got this.
Yo, this bud.
Yeah, it's just
Thank you,
literally a
Leaf.
pat on the
Oh,
shoulder.
and
that's
I
it.
gotta take the. God, I'm burning through spells today.
Yeah, you are. So bless though only lasts for a minute.
Better get over there.
Go!
So you can see at this point Gwen has kind of made her way to the door and is definitely not the soberest of people already. So
Is anyone else want
maybe
any
that
glass
might
while we're
play in
at
your
it?
favor. You're not sure.
Gwendolyn,
Yeah.
I am Les Paul of the Triton race. Earlier today, I lost a fight, and that's okay.
Okay, let's not. Okay.
But I want to challenge
Did
you
you share some backstory?
to a drinking competition here and now.
You
might have
skin
killed
and
the guy.
bones.
What?
No big deal.
And you are lots of skin and bones, but
Oh!
that shouldn't stop us from having a friendly wager now, should it?
The fuck you say?
Did it get warm in here, or is that just me?
If you lose to somebody, if you win against a creature who's naturally surrounded by liquid, you could tell that story for years to come. Now, I would dare you have a drinking competition with somebody who drinks
Speed
for a
this up,
living.
You've only got a minute.
Put up or shut up.
I'll give you some money out of group loot, and I'll put some of my own money in for you too.
Oh shit.
Thanks.
You got this, buddy.
You sugar mom.
You're right.
Count it. She kind of gestures to no one. And just kind of, shit. And like takes the bag, and you can like heavy footfalls, and makes her way over and sits down on the chair. And you can kind of hear her as she sits on the chair, and just kind of looks in the bag, and just kind of fumbles through the coin a little bit. It's good enough. Danica! And gestures over. And Danica, instead of the traditional wine, you can see actually brings out two fairly large ale mugs. And then two much smaller, not...
I was just curious.
more so like mouthful glasses than anything. And then fills the mugs with a liquid that you haven't seen. It's a dark brown liquid that no one at the bar appears to have been drinking so far tonight. Comes over and sets those two heavy ones on the table, and you can see they've actually got little pour spouts on them. And then the two smaller glasses in front of you.
What are we drinking tonight?
You find out. First drink. And pours one for themselves. And you pour one, and then just kind of and does a shot. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Uh-oh.
Saving throw.
So add a D4.
Yeah.
And you haven't had anything to drink tonight, so no negatives for you.
Fucking ding it, my dude.
Oh.
Fuck.
That's a good start. 4 plus 4, 8.
8? Okay. 8 is the DC.
Nice.
For the first drink. 8 is the DC.
Start off on
She just kind of throws the drink back. No issue whatsoever. Just kind of slams the thing down on the table and just kind of looks over at you and waits. And you feel this very odd sensation in your mouth, like a little bit of numbing on your tongue, and the gums start to go a little bit. And then it goes down, and as it goes down, it goes from numbing to just searing hot. Like whatever this is, there is definitely something earthly mixed in there that is just really starting to burn. And for you, being
put
someone
some
who
hair on the
appreciates the
chest.
cold, the heat on the inside is a very new sensation, and so it takes a little bit to get used to for this one. But
It's very
you do manage
smooth.
to hold it down with no real issue. So pours out another one for herself. All right, go make another Constitution saving throw.
Second round.
Come on, big money.
6, 7, 11.
11. Both of you do the second drink and just kind of stare, and you can see that she just kind of
Get it. Oh, sorry.
North.
and then the voice kind of just goes a little bit. Like she was being quite loud before, and on the second drink is definitely starting to quiet down a little bit. And you can see there's a little bit of rocking in the chair. Definitely still okay. Same as you, DC in this case has increased, but you managed to make it. So, not the worst. Third drink.
Alright.
At this point, Bless would have worn off. So,
Alright.
I just had to
you
fucking
succeeded the
warm
first one because of Bless.
Yes.
That was big. Alright.
But this one's all you, amigo.
14.
14. You, at this point, are kind of used to that sensation. You don't relish it, of that little bit of numbing around the tongue, but the burning is just kind of there. You're used to that now. And you notice...
Can't wait till we just hard cut and it's just less in like a dumpster the next day. What? What
You
happened?
guys, is this what normally happens with this liquid?
I think future GIF. The.
Look in the top.
I
Is that
wish
what
we.
happens when you
So, like,
drink
what
in
happens?
Vallaki?
I wish
Yeah,
we
well-
have the microphone really close so that you can
Some
actually hear
ASMR.
those like
Sorry.
Smacks.
What's going on?
So, you, in this case, the burning on the back of your throat is getting quite intense, and so you're actually almost relishing the ability to get that little bit of numbing, to get rid of that. So you put that down, and you try and, like, hold it and just let it slowly go down your throat. You manage to, again, resist the effect, no real impact on you. She has one of the...
You doing all right there, love?
Shut up and drink. And fourth one, go for it.
Oh.
Oh.
I don't know. Like, gives him don't one more.
7.
On this one, you the burning has become very intense in your throat. And you instinctively grab that and just throw it into your mouth, and you just kind of are breathing in a little bit, and a little bit of the alcohol goes into your lungs, and then suddenly your lungs are just on fire, and you're coughing and spluttering, and little bits of the alcohol are coming up onto the table, and you can see that she's not doing great either. Definitely one more down, and she's just kind of...
Hey,
That went down the wrong trident.
can I amble over to the drinking thing?
Can you what?
Can I walk over to the drinking contest right now?
Sure.
Okay. And I want to, as sneakily as I can, kind of look around and just say, hey Les, if, I think we're going to be packing it in soon, so, whatever, just let me know when you're done this, and I'm going to kind of just be rambling and pat him on the back and cast Lesser Restoration to cure him of all, like, alcohol poisoning or anything.
Sure. Go make a sleight of hand check.
Yep. Oh, fuck.
No.
Can I count that?
I mean, I think
Yes,
you
you
can.
can. Do it.
I don't see an issue with it.
Well, it's a 21.
Okay. That's a disadvantage, natural 18,
Oh, fuck.
plus 5. So she notices
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Hey!
you attempting to do that,
Yeah.
and just kind of, the fuck is that? Get him out of here! And you can see a few of the guards are just kind of now at this point.
Oh, okay. I'm really obvious right now, right?
Yeah, you're like, there's not a lot of people left in the bar. There's a couple of guards who are overseeing this now that you're 5 rounds in, which is usually more than most people get when drinking against
Yeah,
women.
all right.
That your buddy's doing pretty well. They've kind of come over and like one of them has grabbed your shoulder
Oh.
and it's just kind of, none of that, buddy.
Oh, it's just a big
Sit
mistake.
down.
Sorry, yeah,
Sit
I'm back over there.
down.
Sorry.
Sit down.
So. And I guess I'll strike that off.
You do, yeah, because you cast the
No, fair
spell,
enough,
you're
yeah.
just unable to manifest the
Oh, fair
target.
enough. I try.
So,
Sorry.
you are still affected by 1 point of the 1 point on the poisoning table.
Okay.
So,
So
but
I'm
she's been
touching.
affected twice.
Ooh.
Third one, good roll another Constitution saving throw.
I believe in you.
You got this, buddy. Oh.
Yeah.
23.
23.
Yeah.
DC is 16 at this point. So, both of you slamming the shot back. You just kind of focusing this time, not trying to get it down your throat as quick as you can, but make sure it goes down the right tube.
It's just
Kind of slowly hold the liquid in your mouth. Feel the burn start to hit, and then quickly swallow it down. And she's in kind of the same boat, swallowing that down and just kind of focusing. And you can see that the eyes are starting to go a little bit, so starting to get a little bit of the haze across. But still sitting,
Still
not
trucking.
fall out of the table, not puking. You're starting to get
I
there.
can see why they call you champion.
There's a fucking... Yeah. Fuck off.
Where's your room in the hotel?
Yeah.
You,
Eyes on the prize, buddy.
She's security.
you know, might say. Fuck off. Drink. And she takes another drink.
Too much of a fish.
Come on.
Can't handle this fillet.
Oh.
16?
16? DC's 18.
No. If it had
Oh,
been
it's
the other
coming up.
number, you would have matched the DC.
I know, but it landed like
The
weird on there.
So, she had a 20. So,
Wow.
you, second point on the alcoholism, you can really start to feel that. Now it's not only the burning, but it's the sheer amount of the liquid in your
Wait, will we
stomach.
get
You're starting to
smoked
get
by
that
Strahd
rumbling
tonight?
of just
Spent all the
And you're burping up little bits of the liquid. You can feel the bile starting to go in the back of your throat a bit.
There's lunch.
She's definitively not doing great. Whatever is going to happen in the next round or two is probably going to decide it.
Yeah.
Got this.
And so she just kind of looks down and just.
Been there.
Yeah.
You know what? It's fine if I lose. I'm fine with it. Because it doesn't matter.
Wow.
It's just about your friends
Oh no.
and who you
I
have
did go through some backstory.
in your life to make it all worthwhile. You know? Wendy?
I'm gonna go back upstairs.
Jake!
Hey, you're the one sharing the room with him. You might want to
Oh shit.
tuck in there.
Oh fuck.
We're going down.
6.
7.
Wow.
Oh, is it gonna be one of those?
So it's a matter of both of you get the shot up to your lips. You're both leaning back fairly hard. Oh, actually, no. Sorry. She's inebriated. That's a disadvantage. Yeah, that's a 5.
No!
So it's
I mean, I
like
think that means you both lose.
Yeah.
So
No.
what ends up happening here is, given the rolls, the fact that your rolls still beat hers. You rolled a 2 plus 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what would happen there is you would both do the drink. You'd both hold it in your mouth. And you'd see that it would start to leak out of the side of her mouth a little bit as she starts to just kind of like put a hand on the table and try and like brace herself. And then the hand just kind of crunches into the table and starts to crack the wood a little bit as the liquid just pours out of her mouth.
Yeah.
You swallow it and instinctively just onto the table. Everything just starts to come up. But at that point, the match had been called because she didn't even do the shot.
So she's like, crack, bleh, winner, I won. Bleh.
Exactly.
Wow.
Because
Nice.
puking does not disqualify,
Makes me a bunch
but
of
she
cash.
was unable to do the shot.
Yeah.
You were able to do it.
drinks
and
are
then
on
you
less, I
used-
guess.
Yeah.
And instinctively then just ram onto the table as the 1,000 gold pot is now sitting open on the table with the 2 participants passed out on the table.
I would
Aleve, I think we should
We're
gather
with
a
him.
group loot.
Yeah.
like
We did it for friendship.
That's my boy. All
We'll
right.
just
Good
keep that safe for him
friend,
then, shall
yeah.
we? So I'm just gonna take the money I gave you back out of it, but then the rest we can put in group loot. Well,
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
No, I think that's
Sounds
reasonable.
fun to do.
that's what it'll be like. What a great investment
Can
that
I have
was.
some of my own money back?
yeah, maybe if we split that, like give us
The
each like
30 gold.
100
60.
or something, and then put the remaining
Well, no,
in.
because you
Yeah.
won 60 and then lost.
Oh,
60.
right.
I mean, I don't mind keeping it all.
Put 30 in.
We're gonna
won
need better.
30.
Yeah.
and then lost all
I think
60.
we also need to have a little bit.
Yeah.
Like
as
personal.
well.
That's fair.
Why don't we do? Yeah. Well, why don't we
Since you still
do
have, like, 10 gold.
100 for everybody except for maybe 200 for less, and then the rest
Yeah.
in group loot.
I think that's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yay!
Then group loot gets back what it invested as well.
Yeah. So we all
Right,
have a
we're
plus
over.
100.
And on that day, let's
Yeah,
learn
Yeah.
value
for future, I
of
think that
friendship.
splitting
And
like
puke.
stuff like that, splitting it and including group loot as an
As a
equal
person?
portion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
that
a
makes
good-
sense.
Heck yeah.
Oh, this
Cool.
razor is not cutting it. Does anyone have a better
Yeah.
one?
There you
Thank you.
So we call
Right.
it?
Oh, that was
Yeah.
down the wire. Oh,
Okay.
God.
Yeah.
go. Dang, homie.
Yeah, that came down
You won
to
with a roll of 5.
So we have
Okay.
488 Barovian gold
6
now back in
actually.
group loot.
Sweet.
Nice.
Constitution saving throws, man. I'm very
It's
good
gonna
at
suck
them.
when you
Yeah.
go back to the real world and we've only got like $10.
It's Strahd bucks.
Strahd.
So,
What's the
you
conversion
rolled
rate?
a 6 and a 7 and a 5.
Wow.
Leaf, do you think you could carry less upstairs? I don't know if he's gonna make it up.
Yeah.
I can help.
I can help
My
it.
leg didn't hurt before.
I'm gonna pop Danica.
It was
5
I.
gold so I can take the private room.
Yeah, is this going to be for you or for your friend?
It's for me.
Oh, of course. The key for the private room.
Thank you.
And your friend is the champion also is entitled to drink for free for the night. So I suppose there just will be no bill for anything of what he drank.
Yeah.
Can't
good.
feel my
Do
face.
you mind if I
Do
ask
you
what he
feel
did
my
drink?
face?
What was the liquid that is the go-to for the drinking contest?
We call it
There's nothing in
amarit.
the face.
Amarit?
Amarit.
Amarit.
Amarit. It's a interesting one. Something that one of the local brewers has decided to. Well, I believe he makes it in a toilet. I'll be honest.
Ah!
Classic.
Y'all drink
What's
poop
the
juice.
what's it made out of?
He's earthen.
Honestly, I am a bit afraid to ask.
Fair enough.
But it is something that, when drank, causes interesting drunks and
It seems like a challenge.
apparently
for sure.
quite interesting dreams. So
Interesting.
Oh.
we shall have to see what your friend wakes up tomorrow if he is.
It was brown, wasn't it, as well?
Plus, you might want to brush your teeth more twice tonight, but
I'm gonna pop up to the private room and lock the door.
Yeah, so do
Wake up at the
So
Leaf
you
and
two-
I need to...
Between the two of you,
Okay.
Les is not the heaviest
Okay.
guy in the world. You would be able to carry him up the stairs.
Okay.
Leaf, do you want to do top or tails?
I'll go tails on this one.
Thank you.
No problem.
I really appreciate
Yeah,
that.
that's all good. He doesn't. I don't think he wears anything on. No, he definitely doesn't.
Can't tell.
Yeah. Well, that's what that looks like.
You ever seen a shell? Just like it's hiding
Oh
something?
my god, sorry, no, I'm just also thinking like your hog. And
Oh
like,
yeah. Leaf's giant hog.
It's cold. I
Les
get
is
it.
just a
No wonder he's
criminal.
angry all the time. He's always got to prove
okay,
himself.
if we're gonna put him back.
So
drop him
he would normally be sharing a room with the doctor, who is taking the private room. So he's got
And
room
that's
to
the
himself.
first
So
room.
first
Somebody
room
should
on the
probably
left.
stay with him though to make sure he doesn't that he breathes okay through the night after all of that.
We're trying to go back
Oh.
downstairs.
Can we put him into recovery position
recovery
with like
position.
a nice bucket
Okay.
nearby?
Yeah, you'd be able to do that
And-
quite easily.
In a water
I would-
skin maybe.
We're gonna get jumped by Strahd tonight, guys. I'm gonna cast Lesser Restoration on Les to cure him.
To cure the poisoning? Sure. Yeah, I'll let you do that.
Alright, sweet.
So,
What about my cool dreams?
so you could,
I mean,
Oh.
do we want? Yeah.
I mean,
hold
I
on.
think
I think
the
we let him
effect of
keep
it
his
would still
cool.
have it.
Okay,
you
you
just
know what?
won't
Yeah,
be-
you're in that. Fair enough. Fair enough. That sounds
You just
fun.
won't be alcohol poisoned, maybe.
I'll kind of go. You're in that.
alrighty. So, you're able to get him upstairs
Yeah.
with no real issue.
Yeah.
Into the recovered position, nice big bowl beside
Yeah.
him. Kind of force feed a little bit of water down his gullet, which you, being what you are,
Yeah, just
kind of
pour
still
it into the
appreciate
gills.
water.
Can
You're not
we-
like a traditional person who, when they get drunk, they go, fuck your water. But you-
Can we
Shit
also
happens.
just like
Can we just submerge
like
his head in the water?
splash a little bit of water at him, like just to help, like
Yeah, and you notice that the gills kind of react a little bit as
Yeah.
that's happening, so it's definitely subconscious. Like
That's
he's not
interesting.
passed out at this point, but is definitely
Yeah.
not focusing on anything, and eyes are kind of doing the.
it'll be okay, Les. You just need to sleep this off, friend.
Friendship.
And then Les, you just kind of go face down on the pillow and just kind of
And then readjusts his head to make sure
He's
it's
not
in.
gonna choke on his tongue.
Hey,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Okay.
Hey, Hope, I think I left something downstairs. You mind if I just run back and get it?
Go for it.
Thanks.
I can look over Les.
Oh.
Do you think we should not have a pajama party tonight?
Oh, I'll just be back in a minute.
Okay,
It'll be
okay.
won't be too long.
Okay. Have the rest of you headed upstairs at this point?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So Leaf, you head back
Yeah,
downstairs.
are the guys that I was looking for, are they still there? Okay. Can I approach their table and say, hey, sorry, if it's gonna sound like a bit of a strange request, do you mind if I take a seat?
Please have a seat.
I appreciate it. And I'll
What can we do for you, my friend?
I don't know if this is, but as you can probably tell, I'm pretty new here.
I believe you've been in the city for a few days at this point.
Yeah, it's been a bit, we had a pretty interesting week, and, we had a call, or we had a lady who told us to, we're looking for a tree.
A tree?
Specific tree, and we were told that by the Vistani that ravens would guide us there. I don't know if you know anything about that.
I'm quite sure I don't know anything about what you mean, my friend.
That's understandable. Can I insight check that?
Yeah, go for it.
Inside. All of us were like,
25.
Ooh.
25.
It's called the Gulfiest.
Oh my
yeah,
god.
Gulfister.
So what is it you were insight checking specifically?
yeah.
That they didn't know anything about what you're talking about?
Yeah, that they had no idea what I meant when they said the ravens would guide us there.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out.
No, fair enough.
Don't give it away.
That's what I get for fucking insight checking everything, I'm sorry.
No.
No.
It's perfect.
Okay.
It's just a matter of how to describe it.
This is a shifty fucking town, everyone.
So, kind of looking at you,
Yeah.
and you notice that you've seen enough of the ravens around, and the ones that have kind of cocked their eyes at you a little bit. You recognize the eyes.
Go fuck away.
And he just kind of smiles at you a little bit, and just, I really don't know what you mean.
That's okay, I'm sorry for bothering you, but, and I will say, switch to, because I can speak to animals, say, have a good evening, and
he just kind of stares at you a little bit. You can see that the eyes kind of narrow a little bit.
yeah, and, I'll make my way upstairs.
Ooh,
Alrighty.
clever.
Who was that? I missed who you were talking to.
That's something that Leaf learned when he was
About
asking
Danica.
about the
oh,
ravens or
I
Danica.
swear.
okay.
I feel like Charlie in that fucking Always Sunny episode with the, like, all the lines.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Yeah, so I go sleep.
Alrighty, so heading upstairs. Les.
Bad story.
Oh, okay. Can I get a drink?
Yeah, wait.
Come back!
I want more popcorn!
Oh god.
Oh, there's no more cold ones.
That's okay. I was gonna get
Colonel.
some water.
Wait, shut fucking hell.
They're just not cold.
Oh, it's okay.
Well, I'm gonna run to the little boys' room while this is happening.
Everyone just leaves.
Alright, well in that case we're gonna take a 2-minute break. We're gonna play some nice little music for you guys
Oh, that
here.
sounds nice.
And
I gotta-
we'll come back to this.
I'll have one
once
if
we have
you
a
have
Wait,
a
are
couple.
you?
Alrighty. So,
Oh my god, yeah.
coming back to Les's dream.
Hope there's miracles.
Les. The last thing you remember is taking your 5th shot. 6th and 7th, gone. Over the course of a good 20 minutes or so, was how long the drinking competition really lasted. You don't remember getting up to your room. You don't remember anything of that night onwards. You just remember blackness. And then a very slight pinhole of bright blue. It eventually gets a little bit closer, and you realize that you're swimming towards the blue, through the black. And finally breaking through, it fully envelops your vision. And you see your home. You see the armies. You see the trainers. You see all the young recruits. And you see a young version of yourself. And you instinctively watch this, knowing what is going to happen. Knowing where this is going to go. But that brief moment of remembering that you have a place, that you had a place, just kind of starts to fill you as the bright blue sea turns to a deep crimson. And the vision fades into just a single dark red speck. And you're desperately swimming towards that, trying to get back to that point. And you're never able to find it. And then suddenly that red begins to grow a little bit more. And you're no longer looking upon your home. You're looking upon this world. With how long you've been here, even with the new people that you've met in the last week and a half. Coming to the true belief and understanding that this may be somewhere you never leave. Seeing and knowing what you know of yourself, knowing of the strength that you have, and then realizing that that strength that you believed in, that the Tritons, what they fight for and what they are to the rest of the world, what you were taught, very little of it appears to be true. And realizing that as the defenders of the world, and everything that all of this now, looking back on it, almost seems to be propaganda, trying to convince that you are better than all the rest. Now seeing the abilities that these people around you have, those who are not of the bloodline that you are. And then that red begins to turn to a very soft white. And you just see the 5 people that you've been traveling with for the last week or so. And small amounts of admiration for each, for the things that you've seen them do, and the abilities that you know they have. And a little bit of acceptance that where once you believed yourself to be the spear, you are realizing that you are actually the shield. And the vision fades to that white spot, and you can just see the outlines of all of your friends. And you just kind of smile a little bit inside. You can feel the warmth in your chest. And then suddenly your eyes are closed, but your breathing comes to you. And you feel the little bit of sunlight coming in the window the following day as you awaken in the bed by yourself. Look in front of you to realize that you have not puked, thankfully. But there is a bucket there. There is a blanket cover realize that there was care put into what happened the previous evening. And with everything that's happened in Vallaki since you got here, how much of an outcast you felt like. The people that you've been around, the ones who have actually come with you this whole way, have never made you feel that. And the dawning of the fact that it doesn't really matter what everybody else thinks, because you know what you are, you know what you've done, you know what you still need to do. And this is maybe the path that you weren't expecting, but it is one that you would like to follow. Out of sheer curiosity to see the difference between what you were taught and what you were told and instructed versus what reality actually is. And just kind of have that to yourself for a little while. So, with that, everybody awakens the following morning in your respective beds. The raucous celebrations from the previous evening have dissipated. This is a big day, preparing for the meeting this evening that, to your understanding, the 6 of you are going to be going to.
At very least me, anyone else who wants to come.
I'd like to go.
Very well.
I'd rather not be left to my own devices, so I suppose I'll go.
Very well.
I feel I should go since I chatted with the messenger, and I'm also very interested to meet this Fiona Wachter.
Then it's all of us.
Also, over the long rest, I'll have regained my hit die and leaf regain spells.
Yeah, it's a standard long rest.
Yeah.
Did you also use a hit die when you were recovering, after the fight?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
So okay,
You were,
so
so.
You got your stuff back.
Yeah.
Yep. Everybody is back to full spells, full health, full hit dice.
Did we? What happened? I don't remember the end. Did
You
we?
won!
You won.
We won?
You won!
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Check your coin purse.
What? Oh my god, that's way more than I had before.
Maybe
That's
you can-
amazing.
You can maybe afford some underwear or something.
Hey Les, wine? More
I
for
don't
me.
know, I think
I
we should
think
keep
I'm good
our
right now, but
heads about us today.
I
Let's-
agree with
thanks for taking. I saw the water skin.
It's all good,
And
man.
that's very kind of you.
Danica said that the stuff that she gave you was called Emerite and that it created strange visions. Did you have anything like that?
I did.
Got a little twinkle in your eye. Wonder what that's about.
Well, no time for that.
Fair.
We've got lots of time. We're
We have a
going
day to
for
prepare
dinner.
for. Oh, I guess that's true.
I'm gonna sleep all day.
Oh,
leaf.
yeah.
Here's a question, Allura. Should we be dressed differently than how we've normally been outfitted?
Should we get all prettied up at
Shopping.
the old...
With our new money, we can get
We can buy cute clothes.
$100 on.
Let's get some
I
shoes.
think, I mean, why are you all looking at me?
Guys,
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot.
hold up. I have an idea. We could pay for old Carl to take a look at our fancy new toy.
What, the shield?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Have you not figured out what it is yet?
All we know is that it's defensive, and it might have some additional capabilities.
But do we want Carl to know that we have it?
Yeah, maybe we can get the
Do you think he
flying
reads
carpet.
Celestial?
Well, I'm not concerned about what it says. I'm concerned about what it does.
Because we know what it says. We understand the inscription.
Do
but
we
don't-
understand both sets of runes? And would he know?
Well, he was able to pretty correctly identify everything else we were carrying.
You might,
Yeah, I think he might have a talent for identifying the specifics and enchantments on items. I think we should ask him, but I think we should potentially wait till we know a little bit more settled in what's happening. I do think we should ask him, and I think that likely he will be able to identify it, but I think we should do that at the most opportune moment.
Hey, just to
Change the tune.
change lanes on this. Everyone knows how I keep looking and waving and sometimes yelling at ravens.
Yeah.
It's very sharp.
Yeah.
You've chased after them. It's
yeah,
great.
yeah. It turns out some of them are people.
Oh, okay.
What?
Oh,
Yeah,
this is new.
Danica knows about it to some degree. Yeah, I had a conversation.
People, like,
Wait,
what do you mean, people?
Yeah.
Are they seeing through? Like, are they doing how the doctor can see through Rick's eyes, or are they truly the ravens themselves?
Or yes, that's what I was gonna say. Are they ravens who can turn into people, or are they people who can turn into ravens?
Or are they
parents
just
before
can they
were
see
ghosts?
through another
Yes.
being?
Well,
That's two.
either way, I did have a nice, although brief, conversation with one of them last night.
Did you get their name?
No, I didn't really ask that. I'm not. Got a little caught up in the moment. But anyways, maybe, we've got that going forward. I don't know.
Yeah, we've got the reading,
Oh,
the prophecy that we got from Madame Eva, that mentioned crows. So I think that might be important, especially if there's people that are crows.
It's good to know. Anyways, just figured I'd give an update on that one.
Good to know.
Are they? So you met them? Were they people you've seen around town before, or were they complete strangers? Like, have we seen these people walking around not knowing who they were?
Well, they seem to know a bit about us, although it seems like most people do.
That's fair.
Can't recall if I've seen them, but I think we're pretty easy to spot, so they seem to know a bit about us.
Is this what you were doing last night when you went down by yourself?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Hope. It wasn't 100% truthful. I did forget something downstairs. I forgot to talk to them, if that counts.
That's fair.
Oh, Leaf.
Sorry.
I thought we were always honest with one another.
Oh boy.
Oh,
So now we know that the ravens
Are people.
People, the physical people.
They're made of people.
They're made of people. Should we disguise them? Like, what does this mean? Do we have to hide what we do more in daylight?
Oh yes,
Like,
we should perhaps be
They would have
aware.
done something
Well,
already.
I'll be honest, they seem, we were told to follow the ravens. I think those guys might be on our side. Maybe they don't like Strahd any more than we do.
That's true, but we should maybe be watching out for any people who are overhearing anything we're saying, who may be in raven form.
I think I'm with Leaf on this.
I think they might be a little friendlier than we're. I'm just saying, maybe give them the benefit of the doubt.
should we maybe meet up with this person and strike an alliance with them?
Well, we have no way to contact them.
Are there
What would
any
the person
ravens
that-
outside right now?
I don't
We'll
know.
stick our head out
What
the
did they?
window.
Did they look like humans
Yeah,
or?
Your window opens onto the backside.
Okay.
You typically see that the ravens are
On the
are over the front. So
close.
kind of looking up, you can kind of see a little bit of the thatched roof, but
Yeah.
you aren't able to see anything currently standing over you.
Oh, I don't see
But
any
the
out there.
person that you met though,
Yeah.
is that person one of the ravens? Like, should we make meet
Well,
this
I
person and
recognized their look in their eye, and I've seen that in a raven before, so pretty much this entire conclusion's been drawn on from that single fact.
What did they look like? Did they look human?
Well, when I talked to them, they looked pretty human.
Okay.
They just had raven eyes. That's so raven of them.
Well, it was pretty cool.
Or should we talk to this person more in depth? Should we?
They seemed a little guarded. I might ask Danica a bit, but maybe someone's a bit better with their words. I'm a little too, I don't know, I get a little nervous around that kind of stuff.
What should we be asking about?
Well, I don't know if they know anything about it, or...
If they can help guide us.
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
Do you think you would recognize the same raven if you saw it again?
Oh, probably. Knew most of the animals back home, so that'd be pretty easy to spot them.
Okay.
Perhaps after we've broke fast, we can go outside the front and see if the raven is there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I still think we should invest in some pretty clothes for our dinner tonight.
How necessary is that?
Yeah, I've never actually been to like a fancy
Yes,
dinner
I
party.
feel very comfortable in my armor.
Very well.
Well, in a lot of the conversations we've been having with these people, there's been a lot of use of the word perception and perceiving, and to blend in.
What I'm saying is we may have a potentially very powerful ally in the wealthiest person in town who does not seem to like the people that do not seem to like us.
But she also liked how Elif won the competitions.
I agree.
Yeah, I think that I think they know who we are. I don't think that dressing us up real fancy in my like golden black clothes.
I think you and I are fine.
Yeah, but I think that they know who we are and the purpose that we serve potentially for them. I don't think that dressing us up. I think if you have something nicer, putting that on would be great. But if you don't, I don't think we need to go out and buy new clothes. But I did have a thought as well about the shield. Talking with Carl. I think maybe we could go, if we've got time to kill, we could go and talk to him and see how good he is at keeping secrets.
Well, the man keeps a house full of weapons, and we're not allowed weapons in the city.
Yeah, weapons and, well,
Let's
defensive.
go magic carpet.
Yeah.
Defensive magic. He doesn't necessarily have weapons.
But he's not...
He's not supposed to have them. It's
He
all
is
black
most
magic.
certainly
Tridents
not.
and the like. He did have.
So that might be a good
I
idea.
suspect we're fine.
Okay.
I think his highest calling is the collection, perhaps, rather than any kind of allegiance to the burgomaster.
Yes, I think money is his master.
And if we throw him a couple gold, he might tell us what this fancy boy is.
Yeah. I think we should make it clear to him that it's not for trade.
Well, he's not going to kill us.
No, I think we should try
That we're
to-
there for information.
Yes,
Very
for
well.
information.
Yes, that's fair.
We can always make that calling as before we see him in person. When we call down, we can.
Oh, into the pipe, into the glory
I mean,
hole.
we do have to pay him 5 gold just to go into his shop.
Well, we are at no loss for gold right now.
That's true.
Good job, Les.
Nicely done.
It's
Les.
all right, you know. Drinking.
So shall we to Carl?
Sure.
Aye.
Zip,
Yeah.
zip.
Eat
Zip,
breakfast
zap,
and
zap.
then to Carl.
We montage.
Yeah. Is there anyone downstairs when we descend to go eat breakfast?
For the first time? No.
Everyone's
Oh,
hungover.
feathery boys.
Yeah,
Everyone's hungovers, but
Yeah.
Is Danica looking okay or worse for wear after like the heavy drinking of the previous night? Like all the goers, like was she up late tidying after them?
Danica is not behind the bar.
Oh.
Her husband is.
Oh.
You've seen him be the cook before, but he's typically not in front of the bar. The kids are still running around. They're the two, but father appears to have a bit of a more heavy hand than
Yeah,
mom.
you usually have 2 kids.
And so they are
Best
definitely
friends.
staying a little bit more in check than they do with her. And there are less people in as well, so them seeing your group and knowing that you've been there for a little while, knowing that you can be nice, but overall you are guests, you are to be treated with respect, they tend to be sticking pretty close to the bar.
May
What
we
can I
have
get you this morning?
breakfast?
We're part of the bed and breakfast deal.
may we have breakfast, please? Yeah.
Breakfast is something that I can do. Any of you do not eat meat?
Is it raw?
It can be.
I'll take that one.
Is Danica okay?
Danica is fine.
Got an insight
She is
check?
quite exhausted after last
Oh, there we
evening.
go.
I've no doubt she was run off her arse.
You can insight check if you'd like.
Sure. I feel like I haven't rolled
She's
much.
real tired.
Yep. Really? Drawing this out 13.
13?
Inside check the barkeep's husband.
Seems pretty honest. You would definitely imagine she, having stayed at the inn for quite a few nights, there isn't an evening that you've been here that's had even half of the number of people who was in the bar the night before. Her being exhausted and just not wanting to wake up for breakfast probably makes sense because she was pouring drinks all night. There was no food on any of the tables. A cook probably wasn't exactly put to use in comparison.
Can I insight check him to look at his eyes to see if they're raven eyes and be very obvious about it?
You can make
Oh
a
my
perception check.
god.
Please. Okay.
Sorry, that was really.
Is that a 10 or an 18?
That's a 10.
That's
12.
12. You've seen his eyes before. You've talked to him, seen him once come out from the back. In comparison to any of the ravens, doesn't ring any bells.
just looking around the room.
The friend is very strange.
Yes.
We're all a little different.
He's kind of a weirdo.
I will get your food.
I appreciate it.
Thank
And if there's any like broken table, like just you said, Gwen
Yeah, there's
cracked
a
the table.
slight crack in
Yeah,
the table that
can I
Gwen
just-
was sitting at, and you can definitely notice that the table or the chair legs are a little more splayed than most
Yeah,
of the
can I
others.
just go around and fuss a bit on those and just cast mending to sort of spruce the place up a bit?
Sure. Do you
Yeah.
want him to see or just do it in secret?
I'll do it in secret.
Okay.
I mean, if he's cooking, I'm not gonna make a display.
Yeah, the kids are there, and they kind
Yeah.
of see you going over to the table and
Yeah.
putting your hand on it, and just kind of like seeing and hearing little, and kind of assuming that you're breaking the table more, but then realizing that when it comes back, it's that perfect flush that they're used to seeing. And they kind of like start hovering around a little bit and seeing you casting the spell, making the motions, and then laying your hands on the different pieces and having them snap back into the place that they used to be. And the kids are pretty amazed. And you can see one of them just kind of runs off into the back, and you can hear a brief conversation between the dad, and the dad just kind of comes around the corner and sees you doing this, and just kind of,
I'll just give him a little wave. Hey.
thank you.
Oh, no problem. I appreciate the hospitality.
Go Fang. And he jumps in the back again.
That's true.
Emerging a few minutes later with the food and setting everything down, there's a nice full spread. You can tell things are a little bit better quality than they normally are too. With the lack of people that have been coming in and with the festivities the night before, you can imagine they're probably a little bit more flush. So he's putting out a little bit more of a regular spread than what you've used to see.
Cool. Tuck in.
Tuck in.
Alright, so tucking into breakfast,
So
and then
I'll make a
eventually
roll to bite.
heading outside.
Yeah.
Okay. So stepping outside, you wanted to look for ravens on top?
Yeah, like always, I'll take a peek.
Sure. 4 ravens sitting on the roof.
Ornithology.
Can you recognize those eyes again?
Yeah, I'll insight check the ravens to see if
Make a
they're
perception check.
perception check. Yeah, I know.
You're lying, ravens. You're dirty liars. You fucking birds.
Just our friend. He shouts at birds sometimes. No big deal.
Who do you think you
Not
are?
great.
Rabbits?
Not great.
Given what you said,
11.
I'll give you advantage on this because you're specifically looking for that one.
Yeah.
Can I?
Don't forget you have guidance.
Can I assist
Fucking
in any
damn it.
way?
Yeah, no, it's not good. 11.
That was a D20.
Don't forget you have guidance.
This is a D20. With okay,
Because you keep,
Yeah,
you
I'll
keep
hit-
forgetting you have guidance.
yeah, I'll hit guidance on this.
Add a D4.
So it's 11, 15.
15?
Nice.
One set of eyes. The 3 others you don't really recognize. One, fairly dark brown, black. One set of quite vibrant green eyes that you've woken up to every morning. And come down and order drinks from.
Oh.
Yo, girl.
15 was the DC to see that.
Oh,
That's why I was like, if he rolls a 4 on that guidance die,
Alright.
it's gonna be interesting.
Danica. Bird.
Bird lady.
Whoa.
Danica equals Raven.
Danica Raven
Yo,
lady.
anyone watch Wolf Children? Anime?
That sounds amazing.
That's alright. But anyways. I'm not crazy about it, but it is acclaimed. See,
So,
them little squirts.
stepping outside, you notice this. Having told everyone the night before, you passively notice this.
Oh.
I think I would notice anyway from my rangeriness that there's a raven that has green eyes. That's pretty out of the
rather
ordinary.
unusual.
So the two of you kind of click a little
Get a
bit
load of this.
and just
Oh,
kind
do
of
you
look
just
over
kind
at
of-
each other
yeah,
and both
like-
just kind of realize, fuck. And heading away over to Carl's.
You want to say hi to Danica first?
Shoot! Get out of here! What are you doing here, ravens?
Are you gonna make like a?
I think we just make like a long eye contact so that she knows that we've seen her.
And the head just kind of bobs back and forth, and you can see that the eyes are trained on you as you are walking away. And
Just like the
then
most like
beak kind of
infinitesimal
mutters
of
slightly.
nods,
I'll wait.
and then
And
okay.
just kind of a,
I was
like
keeping
a-
it subtle, but
What does that mean, crow? Do you hear that?
Yeah, I only
It's
speak to the- I
Raven.
only speak to them. Okay.
Making your way over to Carl's.
Yeah.
Heading up a little bit on the north side of town,
Excuse me.
up the main street. You eventually find the same little duck-off point that you had found before. Finding the slot in the back of the house. Do you insert the 5 gold?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Is it each or?
No, just fine.
No, just
Okay.
total.
okay.
Put in the hole again.
So 5 gold in. Making your way around to the front. The traditional knock that he had told you to do before. And eventually comes to the door. Back again, are you? Alright, come on everybody, get inside. Let's see what you got for me this time. It's It's been a couple of days. Any interesting new pieces? I heard you ventured beyond the wall.
That we did.
That is true. We did go beyond the wall.
Yeah.
We wanted your expert eye about something we picked up.
Expert eye. Looking for me to identify something for you, eh?
We could say that.
I can do that. It's a nice tidy sum, 100 gold piece.
That's fair.
A what?
100 gold.
piece.
We got that to burn. Out of group loot?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh,
I'm
well,
gonna-
hang on,
75.
hang on.
75.
Sorry, no, it's 100 gold
Can
pieces.
we? How
There's
about?
no haggling in this shop.
So like,
This isn't a haggle, but how about we give you 50 up front, and then once you tell us what it is, we'll give you the other 50.
Well, that's pointless, because then if I tell you what it is, you just walk away.
We're not. You have us at our word. We
I
will. I will
understand.
shake on it.
So like a club card we can sign up for, or loyalty
give 'em the
points.
I understand. It's 100 gold pieces for me to put it in my book and identify it. It's up
You're
to
going to note its existence.
Hope, I mean, he's a.
It's how I determine
Business
what the
man.
item is.
I don't see an issue with this, guys.
I think Carl's just a regular.
So we
dude.
can do that with no record of
Sale.
I'm not a magic user, love. I've got a book in front of me. I write the details of the item in it. Words absorb into the page. Spits out details on what your item is.
so the words are absorbed, so it's not kept there.
Do you want to pay the 100 gold enough?
We
Uh,
can
yeah.
come over here.
We
Yes,
just
can
want to
we
know
do?
what that
Can I?
gets us.
Yeah. Can I insight check to figure out like what he's really meaning by writing down into the book?
Sure.
Like, I basically want to know, like,
is he telling the truth?
or is the book what I think it is?
I can tell you straight away, you have no idea what the book he's talking about is. As far as you are aware, this identifying an item is a spell. Him not being a magic user.
Well, it was just the way
Writing it
his
in a
word
book.
made it sound as if the book was magical and that it would tell you what it was by writing it in.
Yeah, you don't need to insight check that. That's literally what he said. He's
So-
writing it in the book, and the book will tell him what it is, if it's magical.
Hey Carl, do you
Elite.
got any discounts for drinking champions?
At least let's pay the man.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
Drink.
Hope I
You beat
wouldn't worry
Gwen.
about it.
You son of a bitch.
And then we like forearm high five.
You go for it, and he just kind of looks at you like,
Yeah.
Let's you just continue around.
What?
Alright.
and he just turns around and starts walking to the back. And you see him pick up a fairly hefty black leather-bound tome with a spindle around it, and begins unspindling it, and kind of pulls the tome open and fumbles through. And you can see there's this set of quills, standard ones on his desk, and he pulls out a very specific one that's got this jet black plume on it.
All right.
Is the feather a raven feather?
Make a nature check.
It's a crow feather.
I rolled on that one, so
Natural one. You're not sure.
yeah.
All right. Well, I'm producing the shield.
Yeah.
Ready? He kind of just looks up at this and, oh my god, that is gorgeous piece of palo, yeah?
Yep, that's the guy.
Some kind of gibberish on the back. Alright, give me a second.
Bill was saying
And he sets the shield down and kind of props it up against his desk and sits down in front of it, and you can see him start to just write in the book.
Mhm.
Who would actually be watching this?
yeah, I'd like to just sort of.
I'll let one other player watch.
Well, who has
Who has
more
good?
arcana?
Yeah.
I'll watch.
Probably the
Yeah.
doctor.
So you two. I'll get you two to go ahead and make a perception check to see if you can figure out what he's writing.
Said nudes.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
I get so
Gone forever.
16.
16? Okay.
20.
It's 8.
8? Okay.
Can't make heads or tails of that shit.
He's kind of chicken scratch. For you, even for you, it's a little bit tough to discern, and you yourself have a little bit chicken scratch. In your case, you're kind of used
No
to that. You're a
formal
doctor.
training.
Aha!
That's what all of your
No
writing
formal
is.
training.
So you look at the words that he's writing down, and you would imagine that he's probably writing some kind of a spell. In reality, he's describing the shield. Gold leaf trim, cross laurel leaves in front of it. Essentially, the best way you can describe this is that he is taking a mental image of something and writing down as many details about that item as he can, filling almost a full page inside this book. And looking at one of the other pages, you can see that in comparison to his chicken scratch, there is this gorgeous, flowing, bright gold script on the other side. And you notice that the word at the top, essentially it appears to be some kind of description. Bracers of defense. And then you can see providing additional protection to those without armor. In comparison to the dark black ink that he's writing on the page. It takes him a few minutes. Those of you kind of looking around, seeing all the items that you would love to have in a perfect world.
Man, look at this flying carpet.
He eventually finishes up with the writing into the book and sets the quill down and then just kind of closes the book on the ink. Waits a few seconds and then reopens it. And the black ink is gone. In its place, you see the same bright, shining gold ink. And on this one, you see, and he describes the item to you as the Shield of the Dawnfather.
Nice.
Alright, so this is quite nice. Where did you find this one? This is prayer grounds, yeah?
Out and about.
No, it was before. On our way.
Make a deception check.
Well,
I think this guy's on our side, guys.
You think everyone's on our side?
Yeah, and most of them have been.
no.
Yeah, who hasn't been actually? Aside from Strahd.
19.
And those kids.
Before we came to town,
That kid ruined it for everyone. Trust nobody because those kids.
I guess from Barovia then.
We were wandering around a lot before we actually got here.
Yeah.
Plus, this is the first time you've met Allura anyway, so like, you don't know if maybe Allura had that on her before.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, guys.
Well, he produced it out of the bag, so I didn't.
No, I'm not saying it to Carl. I'm just
Oh,
saying
you
it.
me?
No, I'm just saying.
No, man.
Yeah,
You don't
No,
know.
no.
You don't know.
I know,
It
but-
could have been this way.
Okay, no, it's the fact that he produced it, but she's the one telling him that it's from somewhere else. That he's like, really? But anyways,
Okay.
So alright, Shield of Dawnfather. This is a really nice piece. So standard shield. You remember the last one I gave you? Same ability.
Alright.
It's a little bit better protecting you. Larger shield, going to be better for someone who's in the fight. Alright, so it's a +1 shield. In addition to that, Isin is made to shine light in dark places. You're looking at something that undead, they ain't the biggest fan of. Best I can figure, according to this book at least, you slam the shield in the ground. Any undead in a bit of a large radius, they get a chance to be scared of you further. So while you are attuned to the shield, you can use an action to hold the shield up and have the gold on it flare with bright light. All undead creatures within 30 feet of you, in front of you, and able to see the shield, have to make a con saving throw. On a failure, they're blinded for a minute.
Nice.
At the end of each of its turns, they can repeat the saving throw, ending the effect on its
Can I
success.
ask a quick clarification on the kind of light that is being shone? Is that specifically like an artificial light or like a daylight?
It is not daylight.
Not
It will not be
daylight?
damaging to undead, but it is something that is bright enough that it's that instantaneous flash that their pupils just get instantly burned, and their regeneration has the ability to get rid of that.
It's
Okay,
like walking
sounds good.
inside after a really sunny
Yeah.
day.
Exactly. Think person in glasses going from cold to a hot room.
Yeah.
You
Oh.
can't see shit until eventually that wears off.
Okay, cool. We can
Okay.
flashbang.
So that is the Shield of the Dawnfather.
Thanks,
And then
Carl.
the description: large pieces of intricate gold trim adorn the front edges of this tall tower shield, with a pair of silver laurel branches laying across each other along the bottom, while a hollow gold ring with 8 points expanding outwards from it dominate the top. On the back, 4 phrases are inlaid in gold written in Celestial, and then you've got those ones written down. May we be granted the courage to confess our sins. May we be granted the strength to overcome our burdens, the spirit to forgive those who have wronged, and the light to carry us out of the shadows.
Hey Carl, hot take is if we traded this for would this be equal for that flying carpet?
No.
Oh, okay. Just figured I'd check in. Thanks.
Very nice. Thank you.
It's a nice piece, I'll give you that. I mean, there's quite a few things I'll probably give you for it. I mean, this piece alone, I give this to Burgomaster, I'm probably in good standing for the rest of my life. But, taking it by your faces and giving what you're here to do, that's probably not on the table.
We'll be holding on to it. Thank you, though.
That's what I figured. Alright, just out of curiosity, you had to come to me do you not have a way to identify anything?
Nope.
Not at the moment.
Oh, probably. I haven't really looked into it.
Do you perhaps have something that might assist with that?
This book I've got, that quill I've got, it's something where a standard page gets put into the book. Lets me write down, describe an item, and then that item comes back. If it's magical, it tells me what properties are. If it's not, ink just stays on a page. And you can see him riffle through, and it seems to be about 100 pages, give or take, and just over half of it is full. And you can see as he's riffling through that, maybe a third of that is that bright, shining gold ink, and the rest of it is the standard dark chicken scratch that you've seen. So it appears to be some kind of an item where he can identify items within this book. I got another one of these. Cohort groups came through not too long ago. It's only got about a dozen pages left in it, but I've still got quite a few in this. It's not often I get an item that doesn't have any identification on it. If you're interested, Tidy Sum, it could be yours.
What's the cost on that?
Per page, 100 gold pieces. So 12 pages left, you'd be looking at about 1,200 gold.
Do we still have the Heart of Cinnamon? Are we going to use that for anything?
I think we're
Eventually, yeah.
I think we can think on this,
It's
right?
fine.
Yeah.
We've got our
We can
thing.
come back and
Alright, yeah, we'll think on
talk
it.
to him.
It's a pretty nice piece. I mean, if you're hard up, of course, 100 gold pieces, you come to me, you get it. Do this one. Yeah, it's a pretty good chance for you to be able to just do it on your own. Nice thing is, standard quill works fine. I just have a really special one that I like using.
We can all understand that.
That's fair.
Right, anything else I can do for you? I've got some health potions if you're interested in those. I know you were looking for those last time.
You were.
I think so.
How much are they?
Standard health potion, you're looking 50 gold a pop.
Did you have some above standard potions?
I do. Greater ones, those run a little bit on the heavy side though. You'd be looking at 350 gold each.
And how much healing power do they have?
About double what a standard one does.
Do you happen to have anything particularly, I don't know, protective for somebody who doesn't wear a whole bunch of armor kicking around?
Oof. That's a bit of a tough one, mate.
Cloak or...
Cloak's tough to find. Best I could do for that would be those gloves that I offered you last time. You get hit with something ranged, you got a chance to absorb a little bit of it. That's pretty good. Other than that, unfortunately, armor's my only kit. Any of you got standard leathers? I got some studded leather I can sell you though. That's maybe a little bit better.
Oh, I have leather. Would I... This is as Jesse. Would I be able to wear studded and get the benefit of it? As a warlock?
Let me check. I'm pretty sure you can.
Because I could use the pop in armor class.
Yeah, so it's... Check. It's been a minute since I did studded leather armor.
Yeah, once you finish doing that, I'm gonna buy 2 potions.
I was gonna buy one as well.
Me too.
He's got a total of 4 that he can sell.
Okay,
So-
well, if anyone else wants one, I will be greedy and get 2.
Alright, as a warlock, I think you only get access to leather armor.
Okay.
A little check. Oh, never mind. Yeah, armor proficiency with all light armor. So you could get studded if you wanted. So that's just straight up a +1 to your AC.
Okay. Yeah, what'll that cost me?
Standard studded leather armor. Let me refer to my book. It's gonna run you 45 gold pieces.
That's fine. And can I doff off this leather on you?
I'll give you 5 for it. Call it 40.
Sounds good. I'll toss him a platinum.
Alright. That's 10.
Oh, I thought a platinum. Okay, no worries.
I need 3 more of those.
That's fine. Yes, I can afford that.
I'd also like. Do you have more studded armor?
Yeah, I've got 3
Got,
more sets with that one then. So
If you
I can
want
tell
to
you
buy
now
a
if you like.
potion,
I don't know if it go
you
with your whole
can,
teeth, but
or if Les wants
it's
to
a
buy a
little
potion.
defensive.
Wait, so 40, right? 40 gold?
40 gold.
Okay.
40 gold and you lose your
Because I don't
leather.
believe you have
Yeah,
a potion
and I lose
at
my...
the moment.
Okay, cool.
No, I'm allowed.
I mean, I can sell it to you. It's up to you if you want to use it. It's 5 gold if you want to give me
Sorry, how
your
much is the
leather,
potion?
but that's up to you.
50.
50?
Do you have anything in black?
A normal potion's 50 and a greater
I'll
one
die
is
it for you. I just need maybe a day to do it.
350.
Cool.
Sorry.
You want to give me your leather or hang on to it?
I'll give you this one.
Alright, I'll say the dye job will be included for that, so
Cool.
I'll call it 45 gold. Yeah, you can come and pick it up, I'll say tomorrow at some point.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Sorry, I'd like to get just a regular potion if that's okay.
It's
yeah.
4 left, you took 2.
I was just
I
gonna
took-
take one.
That's 1, that's 1,
Yeah.
that's 1,
Mm-hmm.
and that's 4. That's it, yeah. You
Does
can do
anyone
that.
else want
50
one?
gold pieces, please.
left?
There's one great. It's 350 gold. I'm not sure
Well,
if I can afford it.
when I get the potion given to me, I want to pass it to Les.
Oh, you bought me a potion.
Well, you kind of used your last one on me, so I'd
Aw,
appreciate it.
that's nice.
Well, I guess so. Thanks, buddy.
Hey, no problem. Wouldn't really
get
be here.
50.
So
I'm
that
marking.
was 50 for
So
the.
it's 50 for the
For the
potion
potion,
and 45 for the studded leather.
Okay. So Les basically paid for that fee.
Yeah, less
With the
is winning
100
is
gold
paid
of Les's winnings paid for your
Right.
potion and your armor.
Yeah, that came from group loot.
Mm-hmm.
That got him in the.
Yeah.
He didn't. We
Yeah.
all did.
Oh.
It
It was
doesn't.
both.
We're a family. Everyone shares the money.
That's
So
right.
90
Everyone
95.
shares all the money.
It's all our money and none of our
Math.
money.
What's
Mhm.
150
Except this
minus
money.
95?
200 on me.
Thank you.
Wow, that was quick even for me.
Stop bragging.
Alrighty, so you've got your studded leather armor that'll be available tomorrow. He'll have that dyed off for you. All of you, the rest of you, bought him out of potions. I'm assuming the greater no one's spending 350 for.
No, I don't think any of us have that.
Alrighty.
Maybe
So-
Elise does.
Studded
I
leather
did.
purchased for
Wait, I
the
still do.
doctor.
Yeah.
Traded in your sandy leather. Studded leather purchased for Lura. The rest of the potions.
Yeah,
And then
your
the shield
AC's
now
plus
identified.
gonna be plus
Very
one.
nice.
Oh,
And,
plus one on my AC.
Is there a card now that we found out what it is? The shield?
There will be
Okay.
once I get a chance to go to my office.
Alright, sorry. No pressure.
But yeah, I have it all written. I just need to get it printed out on the high quality one.
Very cool.
But yeah, you'll have that that you will be able to attune to whoever you decide to use that one.
Do we have anything else that needs identifying while we're here?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Everything I
Yeah,
think we've got.
Yeah.
The only thing would be your dust because you're not 100% sure
Oh,
what that
yeah.
is.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pay 100 to get that one taken.
You've got a pretty good
I'll
idea
figure
of
it
what
out.
it does, so it's not
Yeah.
the worst thing.
Huff it.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So with that, wrapping everything up with Carl. Alright, it's been a pleasure, everybody. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
Carl.
Next time, you know what? You give me a decent amount of gold. Just wrap on the front door. I'll let you in next time.
Appreciate it,
Time
Carl.
after that, you pay. But
Fair enough.
So there is a loyalty card.
that's more so you bring me things of interest. All I give you back is gold. I'm good with that.
That's understandable.
I reach out
Sounds
for a
fair.
fist bump.
I think he didn't want to do that last time.
I'm just gonna try. He's a good guy.
All right, Les, we gotta go.
I'll see you next time.
See you, Brian.
Cheers, everyone. And slams the door in behind you, and you can hear a series of the same deadbolts and the locks getting drawn across, and you're all now left out in the streets.
Real businessman. Cool.
So you have the rest of the day to yourselves. Is there anything that you would like to do in the village?
Meditate.
I don't know whether to selfishly be like, I want to see how Irina and Ismark are going.
I mean-
has Ismark finally started to pack on the pounds from
You
like
go
his
for it.
over year?
I
Going thicko mode.
don't really have any specific goals to
me
lay
either.
out.
I mean, if we're gonna be here for at least three more days, I'm happy to fast track this to.
What are the other objectives that we have to get
Okay.
done?
So I'll just outline. So these are all the things that you have that you know about right now.
Are open.
Yeah, that are open.
We've gone through our mini.
You got the invitation from the Vistani to go to their camp that is to the west of Vallaki.
But it would mean sneaking out because the guards won't
Yeah.
want us to go
Correct.
there.
I'm just gonna look.
The guards will
Yeah.
not escort you there and will not do that. You've got the meeting with Fiona Wachter, which is tonight. So you've got about 6 or 7 hours probably left until you would need to go over to her mansion. You've got the lake that you still haven't gone to, which is further north. You followed through the woods to get to the prayer grounds last time, but you could just make your way to the lake if you were
But we'd
interested.
still have to leave
We'd
the
have to
town.
leave.
So to leave the town, same thing applies. You've got Ismark and Irina, who are in the burgomaster's mansion. You've seen them a little bit. You've seen them a few times. You know that they appear to at least be free to leave, but you haven't checked in with them now in 2-3 days. So maybe something you'd be interested in there. Those would be about the 4 major things.
Some of us.
Where was Mark's do?
I kind of want to.
Oh, sorry, and you've got Van Richten's tower, but you still have to figure out where that is.
Yeah.
It's like in town.
I kind of want to take a buzz of the town, see if I can learn anything about Fiona Wachter before we meet with her.
I think that's a good idea.
So
I
I
think
go
that's a good
ask
idea.
Blinsky or something.
There's no like library in town or anything like that, is there? I guess the closest thing would be the church.
Closest thing would be the church.
Oh, let's go talk to the church. He likes us.
Maybe we can ask him about Van Richten's tower. That's what I was thinking.
I think
Yeah,
the
it's
other
really
thing
helped
that
us for everything else.
we should maybe start kind of asking discreetly about is Arabelle. was our friend?
Oh, Rictavio's.
Rictavio left the
little
note,
the
the smidgen
notes.
of note.
I think that might be a Rictavio specific thing that we'd have to bug him about later. But it's worth asking.
I think asking about the name, who that might be, I think that's maybe a good idea. But again, making sure we're careful who we're asking.
Well, I'm going to swing by the church, and I'm going to ask old Padre about some stuff.
I'll go with you to the church.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I would like to check up on Irina and Ismark. I'd also like to see inside the burgomaster's house to kind of get a feel for it myself. Would anyone like to accompany?
I don't know if they
Will allow me in,
will let you in.
but they might.
It seem to be quite. I think you should still go try. I think that might be another indicator of the type of person he is and the treatment he has of the people that he's in charge of. But I don't want you to be.
If I'm not able to go in, perhaps they will be able to come see us outside.
I'm sure they could give a message to Irina. They're not going to just turn you away at the door with nothing.
Well, I might be able to, figure something out. Get turned around, so
Human leaf.
see what's going on.
Thank you, Les. What are you thinking of doing?
Let's do some push-ups here.
Are you coming? Would you like to accompany one of us, or
Gonna stick around, get grunts.
I mean, I could also go with you. I think having me there might help.
Then the three of us, Les, Leaf, and old Dr. Me, will hit up the old churchyard.
Yes, I don't really have. After last night, I feel very content.
Changed trait.
Don't have any need to find the Vistani at this point.
You can teach an old fish new tricks.
Well, to church.
Shall we?
To church we go.
Okay,
Alrighty.
so are we split
But,
it?
So I think this is going to be where we wrap up tonight's session. I've got it recorded of what you guys would like to do for next week. You have the prep, of course, for the evening. If there's anything anybody would like to do regarding outfits or anything for that, of course you can do that as well.
I get
But
it.
we've
Cool.
got the doctor going to the church by yourself, or is anyone else
Elite and
no,
Les are
Elite
coming
and
with
Les.
me.
Yeah, I'm going.
Elite and less. Okay.
What?
My leather. I have no armor.
You still have armor. The trade is tomorrow. So you have your leather. You don't have your studded leather.
Right.
Oh, but that also blows our 5 gold entry fee. So we better bring
Oh
something
no,
in.
no, like
Oh no, that's just.
that's
Yeah.
not.
Oh, okay.
That's
just
literally a thing where you get let in, armor swap, and you leave.
Okay.
Okay.
That makes sense. Cool.
Okay, so the doctor, Elite, and Les are going to the church. Hope and Leaf, you two are going to the burgomaster's mansion
With Allura.
with Allura. Okay.
Well,
Wait, what were you?
I gotta come up with a cool name for my. I gotta come up with a list of aliases.
Yeah, human leaf. What would a human leaf name be?
Chester Lawrence.
Yeah.
River.
Perfect.
Or it needs to be
River, yo.
steampunky.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
Ooh.
So we've got 2 nice
I got all
plans,
my
and
top
then
hats
the group meeting up for
Father Captain
dinner in the
McGonagall.
evening. So awesome session today, guys. That was really great. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We do have a couple of shout-outs. I just want to thank a couple of people. Captain Skellington followed us 2 hours ago. Thank you for that.
Yay!
We also had STR Lock or Strock or Striok.
Sorry if there were
We
skip
live
frame
like-
rates.
Yeah, sorry,
Oh,
there's
sure.
skip frame rates. And then 1 minute ago, a beautiful thing has just followed us.
Yeah!
You're
That
right.
is a beautiful thing.
Also, to what was the skeleton one?
Captain Skellington.
Captain Skeleton. We can live like Jack and Sally if we want.
Yes, we can.
That could be Leaf's
Also,
video.
Tipsy Fish has left us comment. My goodness, finally a group that role plays in character. It's so damn nice to see.
Oh!
Thank you. Yeah, it's something that we've been working on, and everybody's got it. And I have way too many voices, and it's super fun. And
I'm not role
Sir
playing,
Monty
it's just what
2K. Hi everyone.
Hello, sir.
Hello, Sir Monty 2K.
Hello.
So, hope you guys enjoyed the stream tonight.
This will also be uploaded to our YouTube channel,
This will.
Dicecream Sandwich. If you're just catching the end of this, tomorrow I'll upload the whole episode so you can watch it from the start.
So, yeah,
Or-
so also just to make everyone aware, we have all of the Dicecream sandwiches in all of the places.
Yeah.
We have
Instagram.
Facebook.com/Dicecream Sandwich.
Facebook's a little bit not great. right
Facebook's a
now.
little bit not great.
I gotta work on it better.
YouTube.com/Dicecream Sandwich. Instagram.com/Dicecream Sandwich. Twitch.tv/Dicecream Sandwich.
And we're working on our TikTok, so make sure you smash
Fuck you! No, we're not. Fuck TikTok.
Also, if
Yeah.
you are watching this on YouTube, let us know that you have watched it on YouTube.
Yeah,
That's
please
fun.
feel free to go
That would
back
be
and
great.
make sure we upload as many.
You
Like-
can do that by
like-
smashing that like button, ring that bell, and hit subscribe.
Like-
What's up?
But
This
in
has
an
been
actual
J-Dog here with
legit
the
way.
crew.
But in
Sign
an
off.
actual legit way, it would be
Yeah.
nice
Yeah.
to know if anyone like.
It's got 23 subscribers.
Make
right
sure
now.
you stick
Yeah.
around. We're gonna have our
Good.
Fortnite and Minecraft
Well,
gaming
actually,
channel.
if they would like to stick around, you guys have officially now wrapped up one of the adventures.
Oh yo!
Yeah!
That's a level.
Yeah!
Let's go ahead and we'll at least do our hit points. So we'll
Yay.
go into that.
Oh,
Oh my
shit!
god, I'm so excited! I'm so
Oh my
excited!
god! All right,
Holy
guys.
shit!
Hey, guess what? Y'all can die now. Actually, don't die.
Wait, we're dying. How do we get hit? What hit points?
So hit dice for this. You've got your hit dice for your character. So this is a big one
Yeah.
because
Yeah, this is
level 5. If anyone is interested, this is where you are allowed to begin to multi-class.
I'm taking a
So
dipping
if
into
you want to
bard.
just take your 5th level, a lot of you get a lot of awesome things at
Oh,
level 5. So a
I'ma
lot of
do
people
that.
like to wait until 6
For sure.
to do their multi-class. But level 5 is a big one. If you would like to take that in your existing class, your hit die is a specific type. You can roll that, add your Constitution modifier, and you get that many hit points. And you re-roll ones because I don't like people getting 1 hit point.
Roll one of the hit dice, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Roll 1 hit die, add your Constitution modifier, and add that many hit points to your total.
Okay.
Okay,
eight,
I'm
right?
gonna wait until I can do some good reading
Yes.
and make
If you
my
would like to wait,
decision
by
then.
all means. Otherwise, if you know that you're taking your 5th level in your current class,
Yeah, I'm taking
by
the
all
5th
means,
level.
go ahead and roll that.
Oh,
Me
can't wait
too.
to read all
Yeah!
that. I get
I got a
turn
7.
You
undead.
got a 7 on
I got a
D8, right?
7 on a D.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
I pulled an 8.
Nice.
I'm very pleased.
Nice.
Whoa, what?
Yeah, man.
Good on you.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave y'all in suspense.
Ooh.
Next
Do you
week
like
we
my
might-
Canadianism?
Canadianism?
Canadianism.
Here I
Y'all
go
pay.
again on my own.
Y'all is not.
Yo.
No,
4. Plus
Banana.
Constitution?
4 plus your
Oh,
Constitution.
Not
shit.
saving throw?
Tomato.
Just
Yo,
Constitution.
Yeah,
this is gonna be
Arugula.
So
fun.
there you go. 6
Zucchini. Fuck yeah, 9 out of D10.
What?
So that
Yeah,
means I just
homie.
gained 10 HP because my
Plus your
con.
cons?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
Oh, wait, no, I have a D10, not a D8.
yeah.
But one
Yeah,
D10.
Savanti, unfortunately, you just got the end of the stream. We stream every Tuesday, starting at 7:30, usually lasting about 3 hours or so. Sometimes we run a little bit long, but there would be a ton of stuff to go into tonight, so we wanted to wrap things up here. But they did just finish an awesome adventure that you can totally check out.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, where
Hi,
they
what
made their way
up?
to the prayer grounds to Paylor outside of the town of Vallaki under escort by guard. It's definitely worth checking out. It was an awesome setup, and one where Leaf decided to pet a tree, and
It went really well.
No
almost got his
spoilers.
arm
So
torn off.
good.
No spoilers.
Yeah.
No spoilers, no spoilers.
But welcome
But
to the
trees are not always
Dicecream
nice.
family.
Yeah, welcome to
Yeah.
We'll sandwich you with love.
And thank you for following.
I'm not going to commit to that.
It's okay.
Awesome.
You'll have everyone else's love and a love sandwich.
Not mine. You got to earn that.
You gotta remember.
And all the previous episodes are also in the highlights on
Fucking
Twitch.
doctor.
So you can watch previous episodes on Twitch
Oh,
now.
yeah, you're
They're
right.
ingrained in there now.
That's true.
Ooh.
Awesome. All right. So I think with that, we're gonna wrap up tonight's session.
Oh
Thank you
shit, my
everybody for
proficiency
watching.
goes up.
Thank you everybody for being at the table. Oh yeah, there's a lot of
Whoa,
stuff.
okay.
Gonna look at
Don't
that
even worry.
later.
We're gonna talk about all that after. So
Exciting.
we'll see you guys back next week, same time, same place, 7:30 on
Same bat
Twitch.
channel.
Bye, Dad.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you!